Listen, listen, listen. Cold Slither is not in stock, but it's up for pre-order, so you guys don't have to rage quit over something you knew you'd be able to get anyway. Welcome to Monday Night Toy Ramblings, where I will ramble on for maybe 3 hours. I don't want to say I gotta leave early because then I stay till almost 1, but there really isn't much to talk about. And when I say that, I mean I don't have a lot of slides. As a matter of fact, I dug into stuff I normally don't throw in there. But anyway, hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Hope your Monday kicked off great. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Thank you for joining me and giving me a little bit of your time. Hopefully, I can make your Monday and the rest of your week better because, hey, I'm going to be here a lot. I'll be here tomorrow at 6:30 on Circle of Jerks. Wednesday is the only day you won't technically see me, but I'll be recording for the other channel on the TV terminal. And then Thursday, we're going to have Thursday with a friend. And then Friday, if you're a channel member, we will be doing Punk's Pit. As I said, that is supposed to be the second Friday of every month. So if you're a member, you can join the top secret channel member only, where we talk trash about other YouTubers and we put them down. And actually, we don't talk about anything different than what we already talk about. Anyway, hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend. I didn't do very much this weekend. I stayed away from YouTube. You have to learn to decompress, and when you do this as much as I do, as much as I love it, if I'm not decompressing, I'm wow, then you're just doing a little too much. But anyway, again, I don't have much. Well, I actually have a lot to talk. I always have a lot to talk about. Hell, that's why I go for 3+ hours alone. But anyway, let's see. This weekend, I didn't do that much. I did some stuff around the house. Kind of cleaned up some stuff. If you saw the thumbnail of this, I actually finally, once again, cleaned up the classified boxes, and it's kind of funny because I think some people took the thumbnail a little differently, where I think looking at some of the comments, they thought that I was asking when they actually rage quit. I don't know if people didn't realize I was actually holding the Cold Slither box in my hand, which meant I have it. I have it. I know no one knows because no one's really watched. No one's watched the review. I thought no one wanted that. I thought no one wanted it. I don't know how it even sold out. All I heard is that's stupid. No one wants it, but here we are. Where it's caused all kinds of controversy. So anyway, I just cleaned some stuff up and did that. Made a few videos. We got 53 people here, but yeah, made a few videos. Got caught up on the classic videos, only to be behind because I didn't do more than I needed to for next week, so I'm running again behind. But anyway, let's head to the chat because, man, there is 54 people watching right now. Please hit the like button if you haven't yet. I love seeing all these people, and the fact that you guys can give me some of your time. So please hit that like button if you haven't yet, and let's get to saying hi to everybody that is here. And we have Same Time Toys, who was here early, said, well, I made it this far. Mike Gold jumping in here saying 2 more hours. Haslab Snowcat is at 7,718. I actually think it's gone up just a little bit. And then we have Woody 222 saying start over. Woody 222 became a member. Now, first off, I think he was a member at one other time, but you know what? Here we go.
Welcome to the creamery.
He gets that. And of course, Woody always gets a because Woody likes farts. I don't know what's funnier, that Woody likes farts or me saying Woody likes farts. We got Bill K here, MTC. We have Sabir. We have Cobra 887. I almost said Mike Gold again. Hi, it's me. It's here. Krusty Old Crow has joined us. David R. Machine Man, GI Bro, who has the best guns in the business. But you know what? I give my double bicep pose just so I could fill up Ronnie Trick Shots YouTube and not his YouTube, his Facebook timeline, because he says you bitch about it and then you do all these selfies, and again makes me laugh. Did I say SCS dog? I don't know. I didn't hear it is. We have Snow Wolf joining us. Beardy make a Bearderson. We have Men who's one moderator, Action Fig saying here we go again. We have Matthew Masson jumping in here saying quitting is for losers, with a nice little nerd. We got, oops, that's not Brad. Man, I hate when this thing jumps. Where the hell did you go? How the hell did it jump like this? Man, I was about to highlight Rad Tat. Oh, here it is, right below it. Rad Toys Galaxy, who I will be a guest on, not this Friday, but the following Friday, because you know what? I don't do enough YouTube. And he was like, hey, would you like to come on? I don't think people have seen you. You're hardly ever going live. I think it would be awesome for people to finally see who you are. Just joking. But I am going to be over there. We have Michael Oliver jumping in here saying, I never quit. I am 160th Night Stalker Yvette. You know what? Many of us haven't quit because we're adults. Johnny Reno here. Cal Shab has joined us. And there we have Woody 222, the figure addict, who I already mentioned, but I'll say it again. Dustin Blair. There is Ronnie Trickshot saying, good day, Loza. Good day, chat. Is that like short for Larry, or I don't know? I'm confused. Nolan, which makes us Toy Tube official. We got Frank Dumania in here. Woo! Todd, see jumping in and saying, I became a man baby because another man baby made fun of the toy line I collect. See, I love that. Exactly, dude. Like, seriously. It is all over. Again, if you're not on Facebook, maybe you don't know what we're talking about. I think the only two people I know that are on Facebook are one moderator, Ed Action Figs, and Woody. Like, everyone else is on Facebook, and they've seen the complaining. It's awesome. I play with a toy saying, hello, I would like to share my Cold Slither post with you. You'll get your chance to talk about it. Lightfoot jumping in here. We have Plastic Fantastic. What's happening, fellow plastic collectors? Dude, I still love your 3D stuff. It's man, thank you for the Wolverine. I gotta say once again. But yeah. And Krusty Old Crow saying, hell, I even ordered one, and hell, even I ordered one, and I'm one of the critical guys. Oh, I can't wait to see you do a how that fits into a military line. Richard Burns jumping in here. War chest full of toys. Any joke I want to say to War Chest, I don't think I can say. I don't think I can say it live. Steve Martin jumping here saying, sup punk. This guy here has quickly risen up the ranks of some of one of the best guys in the chats, not just here, but also on Circle of Jerks. He's probably funnier than the real Steve Martin. We have G.I. Joe Marvel World. Your collection is crazy, Woody. You're worrying me. I see G.I. Joe Marvel World. You're combining stuff. Is this Cobra Emperor as a secret name? I really don't know, but Crash jumping here, and he gifted one Punk membership. So you know what? You're going to get a
Welcome to the Creamery. And
let's see if I can find out who it was. And it was Ronnie Trickshot who got it. So so I try and fill up Ronnie Trickshot's Facebook feed with workout posts because he loves them so much. He talked about it on a live stream, and now he's gifted a membership. So Archangel Michael Mars. Geez, I didn't know this was the gun show. Hey, you never know what you might get on this show. That's I don't know if that's good or bad. And I think I'm catching up. G.I. Joe Marvel. I think he's laughing about that. Turk Murphy Toy Solution. We have Rowdy Riles jumping in and saying, I'm hitting the hay. Have a good show. I know you get up really early. Thank you. And I do want to mention, I said to you, because of what you do for work, I said, make sure you get that cover girl to me. And it did show up on that Sunday. So thank you very much. Even though you had nothing to do about it, I love it. Plastic Fantastic jumping here saying, Dom's Thursday with a friend last week was great. Thank you so much. I had a great time with him, and I've only chatted with him a little bit quickly.
Fucking Phil Collins.
I only chatted with him a little bit at Joe Fest, and he's with his kids, so he doesn't get to hang out with us. So you get to talk to him just a little bit. His kids are awesome. Like they wander off, and they're able to wander off and wander around and do what they want. But I gotta say, like, it was great to talk to him. He's such a good guy. Like, just the way he approaches everything, whether it be YouTube stuff we talked about after the show, he was awesome. So I thank you very much. I had a great time with him, and I'll be giving him a big thanks out in a little bit. We have Sinister 6 of the 616. Good day from Sydney, Australia. And I was about to say I've never seen you, but I swear I have seen you before because I remember the Sinister 6. But then again, I may be completely wrong. Aaron equals Aza, Lawrence equals Loza. It's an Australian thing. All right. Hey, you know what? I was just wondering, and I do appreciate it. We have MTC jumping in here. Woo! Let's see here. I think we're almost to the end. We have JLS Comics saying, what's up? Again, if you haven't checked out this, guys, you want to know something about a G.I. Joe figure or a Marvel character, this is just right here. It's right there. That's where you need to go, man. Seriously, just go to JLS Comics, see if he's ever done his little in-depth on it, 15 to 20 minutes normally, and it is awesome. Just Plain Yogurt jumping in here saying, I rage quit over the way they fumbled my membership, but I have since rage rejoined. I'm sorry. That reminds me of, have you ever seen the meme, or maybe it's like a meme of oh god, oh damn, oh dude, I can't think of the guy, but it's him walking as an essay, and it's like after I throw the pizza box, like the pizza box with the directions in the garbage, and then he's walking back because we all forget exactly what the instructions are. That's what that reminds me of. When you throw this shit in the garbage, but then you forget exactly how long you got to do it. That's what I thought of. Damon Parker. I'm sorry. You guys are like, dude, what the hell are you talking about? This is what you get from me. Damon Parker jumping in saying, good evening, everyone. We have Tony's Figs, who is on the bus, right? He's on the Ambo is what I'm assuming. Actually, I don't know. You weren't. I don't know. I talked to you yesterday. I don't remember if you were on the bus or not. All right. That Sinister 6 says, I was in Ronnie's live stream the other day, and I believe you were there. Okay, maybe that's where, again, there's so many people, and I do apologize to anyone that I say, like, I don't think I've ever seen you here before, and Matthew's like, dude, this guy is here all the time. There's a lot of people. Like, there's a lot of people, and I love it, and again, this is how the channel grows, and this is how we have all kinds of fun here. I rage quit over clingy women. Did you rage quit? I mean, did you? I don't want to say anything and her be right there with you. And trust the Star Screamer jumping in here. It's really Trust the Screamer. Or I'm sorry, it's True Star Screamer, Trust the Streamer, something like that. How are you doing? Great to have you. Cal Shave says, Walmart refunded my charge for Beachhead and Quick Kick, but the order is still open. They did not refund my crystal ball, but they shipped but he's shipping soon. Walmart is so rough. Walmart is something else. Walmart is something else. I gotta say that. Yeah, I don't know when that whole crystal ball is shipping. It says the 15th, but again, since they said they were shipping it months ago and they were wrong, and I knew they were wrong because the Pulse one was way off too. They've never really updated it properly. So again, they've popped up all over the world. I mean, literally, and they're all over the US right now. And now it looks like Walmart is actually getting a display for Hasbro that has Star Wars, Marvel, and G.I. Joe all in it. I think Transformers too. And the crystal ball I've seen. I saw it on the Full Force posted from someone else, and a few other people posted the same thing. And Quick Kick and Beachhead 2-pack. So they're doing a reset. So start looking. Once again, I know people say my Walmart doesn't carry it, but everyone said the same thing about Target, that they start looking because you don't know. This is a new reset that they're doing, and I know I'll be stopping at like every Walmart now. Viper Scout jumping in here saying, hey, at work, be back in an hour. And if you ever want to see Viper Scout live, tune in this Friday for Punk's Pit. He always joins, as long as I remember to send him the link. Anyway, that's everyone. I said hi to everyone in chat. 78 people. Please hit that like button if you haven't. I can't believe we got 78 people in the first 18 minutes. That's huge. That's huge. And there's no G.I. Joe news. No shit, I should have said that. Only 40 likes though. 56 votes. And the rage quit. All right, 81 people watching and only 40 likes. That math ain't mathing, guys. I'm just saying. Anyway, let me start by saying thank you to Toy Domination for last Thursday with the friend. Had an absolute blast with him. He was like, I can do like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Everyone keeps saying that. Listen, I'm just saying, if I ask you to be on Thursday with the friend, try and plan for about 3 hours, because it's not really an interview, it's a conversation. And you know, especially for someone like him who does YouTube and understands how it goes, he should have known better. No, he was actually great. And again, we chatted for probably another half hour after that. And again, I was happy to have him on. I actually finally be able to sit down and talk to him and find out all about him. I mean, seriously, like, he was awesome. Clint Jorgensen jumping in here saying Quick Kick 2.0 will bring everyone to Walmart. Well, I don't know, dude. I heard on the Facebooks, I've heard that it looks okay, but that's not my Quick Kick. And yet I bet people will be raging over trying to get it if they can't get it, because that's what we do. But anyway, Dom was awesome. Had a great time with him. This week, I am having Geeks Have Game on. And if you don't know who that is, he is also known as Bobby Behar, part of Attack'em. And he will be my guest for this Thursday. And, you know, I've actually only talked to Bobby one time. I've talked to everyone else that associates with the Toy Kind of Mood numerous times. But I've only talked to Bobby one time. He's never been on any time that I was on a Toy Kind of Mood. But he popped in after we got done with Circle of Jerks. And we chatted a little bit. And I'm like, hey, you know what? You want to come on? And he's like, sounds awesome. So works out perfect. He's going to be on Thursday. I can't wait to sit down and talk to him, because, again, it's interesting to talk to people you don't really know, because you just have all this stuff to say. So there's a link to Geeks Have Game. Please head on over there, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button to him. Again, he is sitting at 189 subscribers. I think we can push that over 200 by the end of this episode, right? I mean, seriously, there's 83 people here. I have a feeling you're all not watching or subscribe. So please click that little link, hit subscribe, and then make sure you come right back if you haven't yet. And Frank Demonia is saying, He's somewhere right here saying Bobby is cool. Again, I had a little conversation with him. He's following me on YouTube. I'm sorry, he's following me on Instagram, but also follow me on Facebook. He's made comments, and again, someone who supported me, and that's what I'm looking for. Someone who has supported me in this whole journey, whether it be through Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Archangel Michael Mars says, "Quitters never win." Also, Desert Scorpion promo pics are having me retrofit grapple guns with rope now. Did you not know you could do that before, or did it just kind of like? And I mean that I'm not trying to be a dick. Or did you just like, wow, that actually looks pretty cool? It is one of, yeah. I thought that them using that promo pic really kind of probably shut some people up that were complaining about why he had it. There's a lot of mountains and stuff like that in the desert, so it actually makes sense for him to have something like that. Muda66 jumping here saying, they have Cold Slither up now for pre-order. I ordered mine a couple nights ago. It's not sold out in that time. No. I believe it's still up. Into Mystery saying Cold Slither has been fully stocked the last couple days. Yeah, so what now? Now it's all pre-order. So now it's all pre-order. All those, like all the ones that were in stock, they've charged and they've shipped. Now it's pre-order. So again, that's how this goes. I think by now into the line, people would realize exactly what Hasbro Pulse does, where they have so many, especially these, especially some of these, right? They're in stock because they make so many for the conventions. They tell you this, you get charged. Those are the ones you know that are going out. But we'll get into that a little bit later. I still got a little bit more stuff to get through. Anyway, this week what I did drop was Cold Slither, which is actually behind. It's behind there. They're still playing. If you didn't understand the picture, what I was trying to do was it was in the garage, and they were a garage band. That's all that I was trying to do. Make it like they were like a garage band. But they're still sitting back there. I'm going to just say, like, it is for a set that has 4 figures that is almost all the same buck. It's going to be a lot of people's set of the year, figures of the year, toy of the year. It is just so much fun. It is so much fun just because I don't know, it's something different. It needs a microphone. That's all I have to say. Clint Jorgensen says Nemesis Immortal didn't go up for sale, and I have ability like Cold. Nemesis Immortal didn't go up for sale and have availability like Cold Slither, did they? Nemesis Immortal went up numerous times. Numerous times. People had the option to get it. I mean, they did. I mean, they weren't that hard. I had numerous people mention, "Hey, I have one if you need one." Same with Once a Man Cobra Commander. But anyway, and then I got Vega in from Sergeant Reds. So check your local stores. Also, I just got an email that BBTS is about to be getting them in, which probably means all the other places should too. But if Sergeant Reds gets them, guys like Holiday Toys, they should all be getting them. So just be on the lookout for Vega. And then I got this guy, Dragon Man, who I have no connection to. I know nothing about Dragon Man. He was a guy that I'm like, he's big, he's burly, he's made to order, which means he'll probably keep his value. So if I decide I don't really want him, I can jettison him and not feel like I've lost out. And I thought maybe I could use him for my gargoyles. If you've watched my review, he's much bigger than the gargoyles. And he probably stands a little bit better, to be honest. And we're going to be talking a little bit about that thing. All right. We're going to be talking a little bit about it before we get into the slides. Bobby Wool jumping in here saying, I was excited that I got Cold Slither, got the Cold Slither set. Here's what I'm going to say about it. If you did get it, you're going to have fun with it. you're gonna have fun with it. There's no doubt about it. But again, people said they didn't want it. They didn't want something like that. It was stupid. Yet there's sure a lot of people throwing fits, canceling their orders. People saying to cancel your Haslab, to send a message. What message are you sending? Someone said cancel your Haslab to send a message and then back it before it ends. What message are you sending to that multi-billion-dollar corporation? Asking for a friend. Yes, I know Dragon Man is from Fantastic Four because it's all over the box. I would not have known that, and I talk about that. But again, and I'm not. This is not directed towards you per se. I collect toys or I review toys for the toy, not for the lore. And I know a lot of people, they don't understand that. People get mad at me about it. I'm not saying you did. I like when people, I actually told, I think he's in here right now. I said, hey, it's nice that you can educate me without being a dick about it. Actually, I didn't say dick because I didn't know if that would get flagged and I wanted him to be able to read it. There are people that get really mad at me. I have no problem. Someone's like in my videos, like, hey, what that is this, and that, like, I appreciate it. Then there's those dicks. We had 101 people watching, so please hit that like button if you haven't. But we can talk about that in a little bit. Also, if you've been watching, I did drop the classic reviews of Bazooka, Alpine, and the Armadillo, which I never called it the Armadillo because I think it's a stupid name. It's a mini tank. And I know, I think last week, Matthew was like, we never need another mini tank. Well, Matthew, I can tell you from the comments, that is not how most people feel. People really want the mini tank. And I understand it's not my favorite vehicle, but it was a fun vehicle to be able to grab and take to someone's house or to your, to a family member's house if you're going for Christmas or whatever. Matthew, I swear you said it. I swear you said we never need another mini tank. I swear you did. That is specific. Remember you. Someone please tell me they have a screenshot. But either way, I think, Matthew, I think you also, I said mini tank armadillo. Okay. Then I can see how I read that wrong. Because I didn't know why you would hate the mini tank. I didn't know why you would hate. Why do you hate the mini tank? Izzy Trevi jumping in saying Dreadnoks are my favorite out of the line, but did not get the Cold Slither set. They look great, but holding out for other figures and army building. No, and again, that's what this exclusive really is, right? Like, it's something you don't need. And it's San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, so not everyone's going to be able to get it. So it's perfect for what it is. But I will say this. It is so cool. Like, when you're just looking at them, you're like, dude, who doesn't want a band of Dreadnoks in their display? And yes, if anyone is wondering, I will have a talk with Bobby Behard that it is Dreadnoks, not Dreadnoughts. All right. Muda66 saying, yeah, I'd already clipped it. Then I went to add it again, and it was sold out by Amazon, but the coupon still works. Oh, you must be talking about Vega. This is a little bit more expensive too. Michael Oliver saying, I like the mini tank because it was what my parents could afford. Is, you know what? And I have a feeling a lot of people are going to say stuff like that or feel that way because it was a tank with 4 big cannons. I don't know how they loaded them. Again, Churchill maybe might not be the most realistic military line as some have tried to act like it is. So it is one of those things, definitely. Rachel Selena saying, I'd rather have a full size Mobat or Mauler, but if Hasbro doesn't want to do it, I'm reluctantly take an armadillo. Oh, or you could go to Ramen and order the tank. I can't imagine how big a tank's gonna be. I mean, seriously. I don't, that Rattler is so big, and I'm out of space. I mean, I'm still ordering this stuff. Anyway, I have a feeling we will get the mini tank. And again, I hate armadillo. Like, I hate the name. It's stupid. And then to have a character named Armadillo, again, there are lots of words in the English language. I mean, over the years, people have just made up names, so they could have done that too. But yeah, so just I have a feeling we'll get. I mean, again, there's no reason for them not to. Grizzlehorn jumping in and saying, I don't think exclusives should be numbered. So that right there is a complete different discussion, which I want to write down. Because that's something I agree and disagree, if that makes sense. I think the way, Star Wars Black Series, I think they do it in waves, and maybe that's a better way to do it. It's too late to change it now, right? It's definitely way too late to change it now. Let me write this down really, because I think this is something I want to come back to later on. At another episode or something, but it does make sense but since they're not making them hard to get, but under normal circumstances, I'm with you, man. I don't know if they should be numbered. Bill K jumping in here, that is also Roman. Buddy, I already let you out right before, and you saw a cat, and you had the mohawk, and you were mad, and you were angry. You're not going out right now. You can lay down right here. All right? Lay down right here. Sorry, I got to talk to Roman, as you guys know at times. Yeah, there's Roman, right? Jake Anderson jumping in here saying there are a ton of mini vehicles they should just make. Hi, Larry. I agree, but budgetary, it takes time. I mean, it really does take time, and they have to make sure that they can redo it. Man, this is not the 80s. And again, I'm not saying you don't understand that. But yeah, it's definitely one of those things where it's gonna take time to get everything in there. And Bill K is saying he got his All Striker today. Well, lucky you, man. I don't have no cool hookups like that. Bill Lioneer jumping in here, saying Bill K, lucky man. Hey, they're gonna come. It's not like that's gonna be hard to get, that's for sure. All right. So, quickly, the Punkathon. That's what we've decided to call it. So you guys decided to call it. So I didn't want to put my name in it. I had someone, and not in a negative way. She's like, well, you're not the only punk. And I'm like, I understand. Like, hey, I'm not the one that started calling myself punk. All right. Other people. But it's going to be on the October 24th and the 25th. 36 hours. I did talk to John and Dee from Sergeant Reds, and they have gladly agreed to help to be part of it. And where whatever we make, they're going to give us a discount on all the new toys. And it's not just boy toys, it's girl toys too. And then Dee says, is it okay if we make some video or make some commercials like Mossman? I'm like, fuck yeah, it's okay. If you're not watching Sergeant Reds, listen. That guy has no problem making a fool out of himself, which is awesome. He kind of fits in perfectly. So anyway, quickly, we have Johnny Reno, member for 18 months, saying, Phil Collins, motherfucker. So you know what?
Fucking Phil Collins.
I still can't believe that happened. Jay Astro jumping in here. Michael Oliver saying it should not be numbered since it is exclusive. Unlimited numbers made, however, to make it more exclusive, number them like 1 to 10,000 or whatever, like Hot Wheels stuff. Again, I have a hard time disagreeing, but they've already done it. And I feel like if you're a completionist at this point, you're going to find a way to make sure you stay a completionist. But they did the numbers for a reason. And I think it was in their benefit at first. Now it doesn't even matter because there's so many people on the line. But as a completionist, I fully understand exactly what you're saying. Stiff Kittens review saying, loving no news on the Thunder Machine, even though I want one, as Viper Island have been insistent it is coming. Oh yeah, that was supposed to come at that's right. San Diego Comic-Con came and went, and that's what it was supposed to be. Trust True Star Screamer says it's a sexy boy, not your boy toy. I think I'm a sexy boy. Shawn Michaels is the greatest wrestler of all time. End of story. And Rad Toy said he's going to be back in Michigan. I think in a couple months. So I think I'm going to try and get together with him again. We got Skunkworks jumping in here saying, yo, brick something. Look at this. Lots of people. Look at that. Oh, look, 3-star draw finally showing up here. All right. Oh, I got really behind on the comments. Got behind. But anyway, quickly, just so you guys can get a quick taste of what you're going to get at the Punkathon now is what it's called. I'm going to play just a little Mossman commercial that Ted did.
Oh, hey guys, it's Mossman again.
And Dopey.
No, you're not part of this one.
Okay.
Anyway, welcome back to the Punk Toys for Tots Streamathon. So this is going on from October 25th through October 27th, which is streaming non-stop. So we've made a whole bunch of money so far to donate for Toys for Tots, but we can still keep going. We still got some time left. So if you want to participate, you can send a super chat or a super sticker, or maybe even consider becoming a channel member. And all that money, Lawrence is going to take that and go to this really cool toy store, Sergeant Red's. He's going to buy toys, and all that's going to get donated for Toys for Tots. But anyway, we still got a whole bunch of really awesome content coming from a lot of great content creators. So let's get back to the show.
All right, so that's what you're going to get from what's now called the Punkathon. Except now we'll have Sergeant Reds, hopefully. So hopefully we're going to have a whole bunch of shit from Hella Dope Toys, a bunch of stuff from Sergeant Reds, hopefully from somebody else about something that he's been working on, maybe some commercials from my moderators. My goal is to get in the future enough commercials for 36 hours that I can just start it, play it, and then come back at the end and just say, this is how much money we raised. That's my goal. I don't know if it will happen. Kenzo's Creations jumping in here. Woo. All right. What else do I have to say? I got all these notes here. I wonder if anyone's ever paused it and seen if they could read my notes whenever I've shown it. But anyway, the sponsors, you know what they are. Amazon. Click on the links whenever you order something, especially big, like a refrigerator, or shoot me a message and say, hey, create a link for me. It's so helpful, believe it or not. We have Hella Dope Toys, which they should have the Mythic Legions that have just gone up for pre-order that you'll get next year. You get 10% off. You use my code APWT on anything in stock or on pre-order. Entertainment Earth. I think they have some stuff in stock. I do think they have some stuff in stock that we'll actually be talking about. And then Top Fun Retro Toys. If you want to get some awesome 3D weapons, you see me promote them. You'll see them all the time in my photography that I do, the pictures that I do. If you use my code Punk with Toys, drop the A, you'll get 10% off everything that he sells. John, another John. I say former Marine, but I know once a Marine, always a Marine. Great guy. Great to meet him at Joe Fest. So That's someone I got to have on Thursday with the friend. But I got to wait till I think he's done with the military completely because he's kind of hard to lock down. I think that guy has ADHD in a bad way, and he needs to be on medicine. John, trying to help you out, buddy. All right. So, quickly, we got the Snowcat. So quickly, we'll talk about these Haslabs. Now, it was funny. I was watching Geek Dead Life last night with Quip and Jay, and I was like, they said something, or Jay said something, and he said, "We got 2 Haslabs going on," and he says, "You think Hasbro would have learned?" Which I know I've been saying. It's not like I've locked that down, right? I've been saying the exact same thing. You guys have probably all been saying the exact same thing. They should have learned their lesson. GI Jetman jumping in here saying, "What's up, Lawrence?" and chat. So we're sitting at 7,730. This, I thought after San Diego Comic-Con it would have hit. But this is what I actually found pretty funny because I watch the numbers every day. And for a while, in Geek Dead Life, someone mentioned it. And I'm like, no, that's actually been happening too. For a while, in the morning, it had lost usually about 30 backers. Now, it would gain more than 30 throughout the day. Not like the Engine of Vengeance where it was constantly going down and down and down and down, right? But since the Cold Slither debacle and all the people throwing a fit, whining and crying, it's actually started to move. If you hear that in the background, that is my son being as loud as he can with 2 doors closed in the other room. So if you hear that, that's my son. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's annoying as fuck. Yeah, I lost my train of thought. I totally lost my train of thought. So yeah, it's steadily moving pretty quickly. I really do think that once it hits to 8,000, and then all these man-childs who have been whining and crying about it, that, this is not what they wanted, and don't back it or whatever. I think the moment it hits that 8,000 and they know it's going to back, I think this is when you're going to start to see more and more people kind of jump into it. And again, I think the last day, and we are doing a live. We're not doing a Thursday with a friend. From what I suggested is we're going to do a Circle of Jerks special missions. And if they can't do it, I'm going to do a live and I'll bring on some people and it just won't be associated with the Circle of Jerks. But we were going to do it associated with the Circle of Jerks and watch the countdown, see where this thing ends, see if we hit all of the tiers. I'm sure other people are going to do it, but we're the funniest people, let's be honest. Joe Fan 84 is jumping in here. Great to have you. Woo. Tim H saying Cold Slither impact on Haslab. I didn't. Like, it went the other way, man. Like, I'm really surprised because I heard so many people saying that they cancel all this stuff. And it's actually moving, at least it looks to me like it's actually moving up a little bit quicker. But I think it's at that point where it's less than 300 away. People know that it's going to back. So now it's like, all right, now I'm going to throw my money in because I want it no matter what. And I will say this. I mean, this is there's no way that this hits nearly what the Hiss, Dragonfly, or the Rattler did. Any of them. And as we all know, a lower quantity is going to mean that this thing is going to be worth more money. And I do believe that. So if you have the extra money, this might be the one that you want to buy a second one so you can turn around and sell it. Bobby Wald saying, the few people I know that backed it, then dropped it was only due because other items were popping up and they were getting charged for it. Just came out to realization they can't afford it. That I can understand. I do. I fully understand that because if you can't afford it, you can't afford it. And, again, this was awful. And sometimes they cannot affect, they can't control all the logistics. But this was one of the things I said at the beginning of the year. And I said, hey, this is all that I'm asking from you. Don't drop everything in the second half. You did it last year. Well, guess what? They're doing the exact same thing. I am in a different spot than most people, and I've talked about this numerous times. This channel, everything that you guys have helped me create, it's working for me and what a lot of people wanted to do. I have 2 forms of credit that specifically are only used for everything that I do for this channel. Not everyone is that lucky. So I fully understand why people, hey, you know what? I can't afford all this. And you have to make your decisions. And sometimes your decision might be, do I want to pay for something that I'm going to wait a year and a half to get? And I think this one's going to take longer because it's taking longer to fund, which means they can't get the tooling going until they know it's actually hit, right? So I think it's going to take a little bit longer. Hell, that Rattler came in less than a year, which is really, really shocking, to be 100% honest. But yeah, and then Trust a Screamer says, a true star screamer. I think the Mezco Rumbler affected the Haslab more. I don't think so at all. I don't, and this is the reason why. People are whining about not having a tank. They're giving a Steeler and not a tank. You can get a tank from Ramen. You can order one. And I'll say this. I believe most people that are Joe collectors are just that. They're G.I. Joe collectors. They are not toy collectors. You are a toy collector. Ed, Matthew, we are toy collectors. But there are a lot of people that are just pure Joe collectors. And that's perfectly fine, but they don't understand how the toy industry works. So they don't give 2 shits about that Rumbler. They look at that and they're like, I don't care about that. I want something iconic. Well, again, if you were to get a Mobat, it wouldn't look like a classic Mobat. So why not just go buy the Ramen? And I'm not yelling at you about it. I just yell. Tripwire788 says, Punk trying to make us think we'll get rich off buying these so it funds. Believe me, you will never hear me say that toys are a good investment unless you are buying Lego. Lego is the only thing that goes up in price. It does not lose price. I don't know why. All right. It doesn't lose value. All right. Very seldom you see a Lego set 5 years from now that's worth less than what it was when you bought it. Skunkworks says maybe people decided to back to Snake Lair. It's a possibility. Bronx Rob jumping in here saying it's a boring vehicle. And again, that might be your opinion. I don't agree with you, but that's your opinion. I mean, I think that there's a lot of action figures that other people like. And that's what's awesome about opinions, man. Like, we all have them. And my biggest thing is, if you don't think that the value is there, then you shouldn't back it. I had someone in my comments saying, you know, you're trying to tell people. I didn't tell. Listen, I'm not telling you to back it at all. And if my words came out that way, then I apologize, because I don't think you should back anything. It is not our job to keep Hasbro in business or keep Hasbro making G.I. Joe. But if your opinion, and I'm not saying you, but if someone's opinion is, well, it shouldn't cost this much because I know how much things should cost, so I'm just going to wait till it goes to clearance, you're going to be the one that kills the line. And I'm not just talking about G.I. Joe. I'm talking about everything. Again, I see that Jean Grey at Target. I like it. I don't collect everything Marvel Legends. So I'm like, hey, when that thing is on sale, and that thing will be on sale because there's 1,000 of them in each Target, I'll probably pick it up for $12. But $25 for me is not worth it. Also, if I miss out on it, I won't be mad about it. I won't be like, oh my God, I should have got that. Like, that's how people feel about a lot of the G.I. Joe stuff that they're waiting for. And Marvel Legends too. I mean, all that other stuff. So quickly, Big M jumping in here. Whew, we have 129 people right now. I think we're up to like 138 at one time. So please hit the like button if you haven't. Wow, there's a lot of people watching. Thank you very much for tuning in. And if you're new here, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. So it is odd, again, to see the Haslab starting to move more after this rage. But the thing that I have to say, and I'm going to quickly jump over here, and a lot of people don't think this gunship for Star Wars, the Haslab, It's almost at 3,000. Literally, it's 45 away from 3,000. The goal is 8,000. I think it's going to back. I also understand it's like some things like the Joe team showing the Snowcat compared to the Hiss. That's a good idea, right? I look at that. I'm like, that's marketing. Good. It's bigger. See, it's only $25 more. And 3 years later, as we know, everything goes up. Star Wars team showing that this is 20% bigger than the last gunship. Probably not the best idea. And they have it up. I think this thing looks really nice. It's the vintage. Again, if you're into it, that's awesome. But to have two Haslabs going at the same time, why? You should have learned your lesson. And especially this. This is a bad crossing of stream, in my personal opinion. There are Star Wars collectors that are also Joe collectors, right? If you threw something Ghostbusters, there's not as much of a crossover. Sorry, Jeff. You know my feelings on that, right? But I don't think you should ever have two Haslabs going on at the same time. They're big, chunky pieces. People want them. There are probably some people that just buy every Haslab or back every Haslab. Well, this causes a problem with some people. Allison Troy jumping in here saying, my friend only collects classified G.I. Joe. He sees stuff like the Rumbler, Valaverse, etc. as knockoffs of the real thing. And I think a lot of people feel that way. Again, because they're not toy collectors, they're G.I. Joe collectors. And again, there's nothing wrong with it. Though they do kind of drive me nuts at times because they don't always know what they're talking about. 610 Yojo Daddy jumping in here saying, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Y'all smash that like button and subscribe. Do what this guy says. Are you going to argue with the guy that's saying 610? I mean, I would, because I argue with anyone because I have issues, but that's a whole nother thing. Tim H says, any thoughts on people start canceling Haslab signups if the tiers are not unlocked? To me, $325 for just a Snowcat and Frostbite is too high. Okay, so this is how I feel about this. And I've heard others talk about this too. For me, when I look at that, yes, I much would rather have all the tiers. I think you're an idiot if you say you don't. But for me, I look at it and I say for $325, everything that comes with the base offering is worth it to me. So if it doesn't hit the tiers, I'll be disappointed because again, those are extra figures and an extra display, right? With the bivouac. But if you feel that it's not, and other people do the same thing, I understand. Like if you don't feel that it's worth it, yeah. And I do think people will bow out of it if it doesn't hit all the tiers. But here's my problem with that thinking is that if you're like, hey, I'll buy this if it hits all the tiers, but I'm only going to back it once I see it hit all the tiers. Well, if everyone thinks like that, or a big majority of people think like that, how does it hit all the tiers? Because everyone's like, well, I'm not going to back it till it hits all the tiers. And if you have a big number of people that are doing that, it's going to make it harder to hit all the tiers. Now, again, I don't think you should back something that you don't think the money is worth. And I think I don't think it's 30 days. I thought it was 3 days to decide if you don't want to back it. Like after it's funded, I think you have like 3 days. Hurricane Live saying everything is 1,000 cuts, just so many larger items release. Snowcat could be at 14 to 16K easy if it was hot. Again, you are absolutely correct. If this was the Hiss, it would have done that. You know, like the first one, the Rattler, like those things, like, yeah. I've always said that these snow vehicles like this, it's a gamble. And people go, why do you say just because people have never seen snow or they live in the desert, they don't want the Snowcat? Well, I've heard a lot of people say it. They're like, I have no connection to that. Like people that live in people that live up in Canada, they see dirt, so they can get a desert Scorpion and don't think twice about it. People without snow, some people they're like, hey, so I think it is a gamble, man. I really do. Tony Tran jumping in here saying, I prefer the Snowcat over a tank, a tank is boring. Now, I disagree with that. I do disagree with that, but I mean, that's your opinion. And there are people that definitely wanted this. I would want a Mauler over a Mobat. And I do think that's why they gave you Steeler. Because if they do a tank, it's going to be a Mauler, not the Mobat. Because I think the Mobat is kind of boring. Mauler, not so much. 142 people watching right now. Please hit that like button. This is close to the 145. This is close to the highest we've ever had watching. Just me alone. It's weird. 145 people watching my ugly mug. But thank you guys. Oh, please hit that like button. That is awesome. Plastic Battles jumping in here. Whew. Bronx Rob says Haslab didn't listen to the fans. We wanted. So I disagree. Not everyone wanted a tank. And tanks are available. Tanks are available. And again, like, it's hard to decide whether or not, like, it's hard to say, like, they didn't listen. Well, you and I aren't the only people. I could easily say the G.I. Joe team didn't listen to me. I never wanted any of Cobra Law, yet they're giving us lots of them. I think a Snowcat is way more iconic than anything Cobra Law. But we're getting lots of Cobra Law. Plastic Battle says Mobat is boring as hell. A Mauler would be cool though. Happy with the Snowcat though, and I agree with you. The Mobat as it is constructed as the original toy is boring. It is awesome because that's what we had, right? But if they made it, and here's the problem with the Mobat, they can't make it so it just drops one figure in. But if they make it that it's more like the Mauler, then the man-childs are going to rage about it and say, this isn't what we had as a kid. It's like, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? Tony's Fig saying, I just want a Thunder Machine. Doesn't have to be a Haslab. Well, head on over to Viper Island. He talks about it all the time. He has an in. He knows the people at Hasbro, and I think he's working with them right now. He's probably gonna have like a Viper Island exclusive, so it's probably where you can probably get one from. Allison says Gunship is an off-year Haslab. They are saving bigger stuff if we are still doing crowdfunds for next year and 2027 to celebrate 50th anniversary of Star Wars. I don't know about that. I mean, they're going to slap 50th anniversary, but it's not going to be any bigger. I mean, what are they going to do? A whole fucking Death Star? And I don't think this is the death of the crowdfunds. I know Geek Dad Life talked about that. I disagree. They're here, and right now people have been inundated with stuff, and it's that space. But I don't think the crowdfund is done. I really don't. But we'll see. I've been wrong before. Like I said, that's why I pay child support. Gun Bunny Customs jumping in here. Gun Bunny, I need to message you about the Punkathon because I know you said that you'd love to jump on, and I want to talk to you about some stuff. So I want to have you on to do some of your customs or to talk about some of your customs. So, and there will be other people. I was supposed to sit down and do more. I didn't. I didn't at all. Joe ARH saying the whiff on this was not building momentum for Arctic missions. Now, I will give you that. If we were all opening a polar battle bear and adding that to our shelves with Arctic Stalker and his kayak, it might be different. Joe, I can't disagree one fucking bit with you. Showing off Iceberg. But where were the other figures? And we know we're going to get them. Why do you not have a retro carded Snow Job coming, right? Like, not everyone has Snow Job. Not everyone wanted to pay that, which I don't know why. That figure's fucking awesome. And the second head, you can make a custom figure too. But you're right. They don't even have to show it off. Just say, hey, name only reveal, Polar Battle Bear coming. A whole Arctic wave. Right? And maybe you say, hey, you know what? Arctic Wave might not work because not that many people in the snow, or a lot of people aren't in the snow. Okay, start sprinkling some figures in there. Give that illusion, or not even illusion, let people know that other stuff is coming, right? I think that's what a lot of people thought about the night landing. Like, you're giving us the eels. Where's our night landing, right? And Matthew will tell you he had a little talk with Bobby Valla about that, where Bobby said, hey, I was waiting for them to do it. They didn't do it. I said, hey, why not? And let's be honest, if he comes out with his version of the night landing, it's a little boat, right? It can be used for anything, Joe, Cobra, whatever. Muda66 says, the only way I don't feel that way about is gridiron shit. Was kind of disappointed with the Vanguard, but it is big. It is. I think you might have been talking to somebody, so I may have jumped in a little too early. True Star Screamer says, I wouldn't argue with someone 6'10". I'd want to look them in the eye. I want to look them eye to eye, and they would probably kick the chair out from under me. Just be nimble. Make sure you land on your feet. Be like a cat. And 3-star says you have to be happy with the base offering for the price. Exactly. And again, we're going to get more than the base offering, in just my personal opinion and what we've seen in the past. But if it doesn't, then you have to say to yourself, I'm happy with what I got here. Sean Forrester jumping in here saying, I have the Snowcat back, but all the Joe releases have made it a bit of a pain. Hundreds of dollars out the door this last month, and more in the next few months. And again, that's why I said one thing I asked: don't give everything at the second half, and they're doing it. All right. And again, if you're not just a Joe fan, it's even worse, right? Oh, the Marvel stuff is coming. I don't really collect Black Series or Star Wars, but that shit's hitting. Transformers, and then there's obviously other brands that, but that's stuff you have to kind of, you make that decision of what you want to do. Izzy Trevi says, I think showing the Snowcat unfinished was a mistake. I agree. I'd rather they posted and gave us all finished product. So I understand that what they do is a mock-up model, but I'm with you, because if later on they're like, hey, we missed something, but there's some stuff that they talked about, the detail not being in it, and I'm with you. Like, I feel like it was rushed. I feel like, and especially now looking at it, they rushed it because they didn't want to have it a week before or a week after the Haslab or the Star Wars Haslab. They wanted at least to have some gap in between it. I don't think it's good, to be honest. I think it's an awful gap that they're giving us. But I'm with you, and I think they rushed it. I really do. And I also think they knew the Rattler got done sooner, so they could do this and get that out there. Hurricane Live says Star Wars has the past few years overlapped into Joe June. Same with Marvel. They pushed Joe June out. Okay, so last year what happened was they couldn't get rights to the twins for the Haslab. That's why it got pushed back. So actually what it ended up doing was it pushed the Rattler to go into the San Diego Comic-Con. This was kind of confirmed at Joe Fest last year, not 2024. It was kind of confirmed by someone who might be married to someone on the Star Wars team that they were having issues. That's why it kept getting pushed back. And by it getting pushed back, it kind of forced the Joe team to push theirs back. And they made it like, hey, we've got the San Diego Comic-Con, Haslab. Like, they made it seem like it's a big deal, which it is, but it's Joe June. The stuff should come out in June, right? That's your marketing ploy. So that's what happened last year. And yeah, the reason why, if you remember, that Haslab kept getting pushed back, the Star Wars one, the Cantina, it was because of the twins. They couldn't get the rights to her. I thought it was for something different, and the guy was like, that's not the reason, but it did have something to do with Lucasfilm. They wanted those figures. They pretty much said, hey, we're going to get the rights to them, and it was all done, and they didn't have it. They were still working on it. So 44D2 jumping in here saying extra breakfast, food, and utensils. Hey, you know what? If you do photography, you know my feeling on that. And I know you do. You make a lot of stuff. You 3D print a lot of stuff. So, okay, it's 30 days. Oh, see, I thought it was 3 days, 30 days. That's a huge, again, now you've already paid for it. And most people will be like, you know what? It's already gone. I know I've done that numerous times. Jay Solowars jumping in here saying Snowcat being bigger might be part of the slow start. Space limitations will kill a sale as quick as price. I tend to agree, but at least you know it's not as big as the Rattler. But yeah, I think size going forward is going to be a problem for some of these Haslabs, especially for the G.I. Joe stuff, where a lot of stuff is considered army building. Now, if you do photography and you go outside and you shoot pictures with it, awesome. Like maybe you don't care. You know, maybe you don't have it displayed and you're like, I'm going to take this stuff outside, you know? So that works for some people, but I know for me, where I do pictures, but I also have everything displayed. So I'm kind of looking at some of my stuff. Like it's time to start removing some of the 3D printed stuff that I have, because I'm truly, truly out of place, out of space, not out of place. Just Plain Yogurt says FOMO will end up making me back it. I had to go Evil Bay for the Hiss and the Dragonfly, and I just don't want to do that again. And that's what I keep telling Tony's Figs. I'm like, just get the Rattler. You didn't get the Hiss, and then you had to get it aftermarket. And then you didn't get the Dragonfly, and then you had to get it aftermarket. Just back it. You have the money. And if you decide you don't want it, you can get rid of it and still make a profit. All right. So yeah, I'm with you. Like, don't let FOMO get you. If you have the money, don't say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna skip my mortgage so I can get this fucking Snowcat, because that's stupidity. All right, that's true stupidity. And if you did that, I mean, hey, thanks for being here. Hope you stick around for a long time. Mark Harkness says Snowcat in the desert. Man up and paint the sucker British Army camo pink. Hey, that's what they've done in the past, right? I'm way behind on the comments and getting way behind on everything. So 44D2 says Hasbro probably didn't do a tank because if it's better than Ramen's tank, they'll look like shit. If it isn't better. Okay, so this is where I disagree with you. And the reason why I disagree is because you can go in those comments on all the Facebook pages, and these people don't know who Ramen is. Like, they don't care. I believe Ramen has made, I think he had, like, he's backed, I think, 1,700. I think that's what somebody said. He doesn't make nearly as many. So people don't know who Ramen is. Toy collectors do. You do. You're a toy collector. The G.I. Joe fans, they don't. So I kind of thought the same way. Now, I'm not saying Hasbro doesn't know who they are, because Hasbro has sent him cease and desist. Matter of fact, Joe Fest 2024, he showed us the cease and desist that they sent while at Joe Fest. But just like the Rumbler, just like the Vanguard, it doesn't affect Joe's. Like Joe fans, because the Joe collectors want the G.I. Joe thing, right? And that's the biggest thing. So, again, I understand the thinking, and it logically makes sense until you scroll through all those Joe Facebook groups and you realize like 75% of those, and I'm just throwing that arbitration number out there, 75% of those people don't collect toys. They collect G.I. Joe. Gun Bunny says, I grew up in South Texas. My brother and I both had 2 snowcats, and we had no issues playing with them because we had this crazy thing called an imagination. No, and I do get that, but I also believe that there's a lot of people that did it. But I also didn't grow, I didn't grow up in Texas and Florida like that. I grew up where there's snow. So I don't know how it would feel. I'm just kind of going on what I've seen, in the past. That's it. We got Radnam jumping in here. That's what I forgot to mention. Radnam and his stuff. So hold on, let me grab this stuff. Shit, where's it at? Oh, it's over here. So I know you've seen my pictures. This is the other thing that I got in quickly. And this is for your 1/18 scale. And this is your what the hell is it called? This goes with your right now. What the hell is it fucking called? I knew I was forgetting something when I was writing shit up. But anyway, I just took a whole bunch of pictures with it. All right. Put your little computer desk, your computer station up here. You can get this at Hella Dope Toys. Use my code APWT. You get 10% off. I don't want to knock this thing over. But that was the other thing I wanted to talk about. And these are my work pants, if you're wondering, like, what? Why do you have those on? It's good for his catwalk. That's it. The catwalk. So go to Hello Dope Toys. Check it out. Yes, the catwalk playset. That's it. Debo DNA, I totally missed. I saw you up there. Precisely, I'm buying a ramen tank, but I want the Mobat. But you won't get it. You'll get the Mauler. If you even get one. Mark Richards jumping in and saying, buy 2, sell 1 for double to pay the one you keep. At least that's what I tell my wife when these boxes show up. That only works if you're not paying interest. If you're paying interest, then you're failing with that. Ed, Matthew, drop a link to Hello Dope Toys, to that stuff. Check that out. Radnam here. He is the one. He 3D prints this stuff. Are you coming out with the crate? Oh, you are doing the crates right now. Let me get the crates. These fucking things are awesome. So right now, okay, we all know the boxes. I'm all over the fucking place right now. I'm not gonna go 3 hours. I don't have that much to talk about. Good fucking Lord. Anyway, these were the boxes. Hello Dope Toys. Now he's coming out with these bad boys. All right. This is actual wood. It stays on there. Look at that. These are actual wood. They say Hella Dope. They should say a punk with toys. I think that would be even better. I think you guys would want to buy more. What I know. I don't know if these are available yet. The other stuff is the boxes are still available. These boxes open up. Come on. You've seen all these in all my pictures, right? I mean, all you people here, I'm assuming you watch, like you're on my social media and stuff. Anyway. Thank you, Radnam. That's me just pushing that stuff. Model Misfit has jumped in here. Woo, all right. 134 people. Please hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. There's no clickbait. I will say that. It may take a while to get to the topic. There is no clickbait. We are going to talk about the man-childs and the rage quitting and the people that are mad. Let's look at this poll really quick, though. 123 people have voted. 7% have rage quit over Cold Slither, 8% over Coco, 11% over other exclusives, and 76% of you told the truth. All right. And Model Misfit says, I'm waiting on my Cold Slither set. It'll be here Wednesday. You're going to enjoy it, man. It's a lot of fun, dude. It really is a lot of fun. There's no doubt about it. Okay, so before I get in, a couple things. One more thing I want to talk about. So that's kind of it with that. We'll come back around. You guys know how I am. I'm all over the place. All right, so this guy, look at him. He's big. He's burly. I mean, he's everything. So he's not perfect. I wish the bending wire the bendy wire tail bended a little more, or a lot more. And then you also on the review that his arm came off because of the softer plastic, which now has started. And again, it went right back on. It came off fairly easily. So a lot of comments about how Hasbro doing this, they cheap out, they say this, this isn't good for the collector. Well, actually, I don't say good. They say this is cheaper plastic. And the one comment that caught my eye was a little bit bigger than Diamond Select Hulk that was $25. Well, here's my issue with that. And I even made the comment. So I have a Dodge Journey, which MSRP was $36,000. Pretty expensive back in 2017. A Dodge Viper, MSRP was about $130,000, somewhere around that, depending on. But that Dodge Viper only has 2 doors, doesn't have a back seat. My Journey can hold 6 people, 7 people actually. It has all-wheel drive. The Viper does not. It's longer than the Viper. It actually has a lot more space than the Viper. Yet for some odd reason, nobody will say, oh, well, they should cost the same. Actually, the Viper should be cheaper because it's smaller and holds less people. Can't really drive down to Joe Fest in this Viper and come back with stuff, right? But you look at a toy and you say, well, that Diamond Select Hulk is almost as big and it costs $25. Well, last time I checked, we don't know the articulation on it. I also don't know when the Diamond Select Hulk came out. Also, I think Diamond Select went out of business. So with that said, I'm assuming that maybe, just maybe, Diamond Select should have been charging a little more. I'm just saying. So maybe charging less is what caused them not to stay in business. Also, the logistics of what Diamond Select, and I'm talking about other companies, they have less people they have to pay. Now, this is $80. It's going to keep its value. But when people also say about the plastic that it's cheaper and, it's not as good plastic, well, how do you know? And I mean that. I know that I was called the plastic expert by Bobby Valla because he was mad over my review that he said he didn't watch of the Vanguard. He also called Bobby B a plastic expert. Now, I'm not trying to be a plastic expert. I'm just saying, but how do I know that just because this plastic is softer than earlier Classifieds or earlier Valaverse or Marvel Legends, that it's worse plastic? Because now I know that my hands, I can actually pry them and stick different weapons in them without breaking the peg on it, breaking the peg for the wrist and stuff. The arm came off on this, but it popped right back on. So when you're looking at it, you're perceiving a softer plastic to be worse. I believe, and I'm just throwing this out there, I feel like if something hardened more to where it was brittle, I feel like that would make it actually a cheaper plastic, right? Because why do I want something to be brittle that will fucking break? And yet people tend to feel that because the plastic is softer, it must be cheaper. Now, again, these are technically for 4 and up. Now, you can argue that, hey, you know what? No parent is buying their kid an $80 Dragon Man. It is for collectors. And I agree with you 100%. But under the parameters of what Hasbro does, they do 4 and up. But you go look at a NECA and how those things break, or at least they used to, you're going to tell me that you'd rather have plastic like that because it's harder and because it's not soft, you perceive it to be a cheaper plastic? And I just want to know, how do you know this? When you're comparing apples to oranges by saying the Marvel Select Hulk is $25, it's almost as big, they're ripping you off. Oh, Hasbro once again ripping people off. Why is it ripping you off? The softness doesn't bother me because the detail is all there. The arm coming off, that's bothersome, and I've talked about it. It pops right back on. I have other figures that have done the same thing. I have more of an issue with my original cover girl that her arm came off in the box, and yeah, it pops on there, but I can't pose it with the arm on. I have to pose it and then put it on there. You know, this is where 44D2, you're absolutely correct. The internet is full of experts. And I'm not saying it's not cheaper plastic, but I'm just saying, how do you know? And I'm not saying you, how does somebody know? They say that. Now, again, if you're talking about the rubberized weapons, it technically doesn't mean it's cheaper either. It just means that it's a shittier durometer. And I will say this, Marvel Legends is still using that really shitty durometer to make it softer. But yeah, so it's one of those really weird things that it's like, how do you know that it's cheaper? Who told you this? And where is your proof? Ooh, you know what? I forgot to highlight. I'm sorry. Just noticed my teeth weren't highlighted. Teeth are really good when you're a YouTuber. You should always have teeth. Anyway, but it's one of those things, and I'm reading the comments, and everyone's saying like Hasbro ripping people off again. I don't really see. It's not rubber. It's not rubber. But it is one of those things where it's like, I'm just taking your word on it because that's what you have said. And that's how all this stuff starts, right? That's how, again. Now you can say, hey, I don't like the way it feels. I like the harder plastic. All right, that is your opinion, and I have no problem with your opinion. But a lot of times these things are kind of getting thrown out like they're fact. Muda66 says, Punk, do you know that period of time? Like it was around Rock and Roll came out. He's a good figure, but I remember getting him and his torso being like this weird, shiny, translucent plastic. You know what? I did not see what you were talking about. See, this is where Matthew said, don't read the comments a long time ago. So now I'm trying to figure out what you were alluding to. And Hyatt says, we all came here because we thought you knew, Lawrence. Exactly. Muda says, Valiverse does guns very well, though. I will say, Valiverse does a lot of things really good. Muda says, it was when it seemed like the materials changed a lot. All right. So I guess one of my biggest things, and again, they did change things and things started looking different. Now, you could talk about the quality and the look of it. It doesn't mean that it's cheaper. Now, again, I look at this figure and it's everything that it's supposed to be, right? Other than it's a little soft. But it's just when people kind of throw that out there. And again, you're entitled to your opinion. I fully get that. Todd C says, softer durometer is more resistant to cracks and breaks, but it's more susceptible to deformation. Harder durometer is the opposite. Okay. But does it make one cheaper than the other? I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Like, how do I know what's cheaper and what's not? I really don't, because I don't deal with plastics. I can tell you this, a skateboard wheel, and that's the only reason why I know what a durometer is because of skateboard wheels. There's not a difference in price. There is a difference in the way they feel and the way they ride when you're looking at a 101 durometer compared to a 93. 101, they are loud, they are hard, but they spin faster, or they roll faster because you don't sink into it. Where a 93 durometer has this really soft feel. It bounces when you drop the board. My buddy Tony laughed at. He's like, "Dude, your board bounces." Because I wanted to try a softer wheel, see if it worked better. It didn't. So Lightfoot says, I feel like the arm falling off is due to the gap design and fitment, the material, but the fact that it goes back on is a plus for softer material rather than it stressing and breaking. I'm with you. And again, I'm not, and believe me, I'm not trying to, the fact that the arm should not have come off. But like anything, these things do pop off. And as long as it pops back on and it stays on and it doesn't get looser, I don't have a problem with it. But I'm with you. I would rather pop off than break. I mean, I think most people would say that, right? I mean, so Moses Guillen saying plastic type and density likely affect the price slightly, but I don't think the prices are that much different. No. Again, I don't think it's going to be that different either. But I have heard people say that certain companies refused to listen when they came out with their first wave of figures, that you don't use that. And he argued with them to the point where they said, fine, we're going to do it. And guess what? The pegs in the wrist kept breaking. Guns kept snapping. Other joints were breaking. And he changed it going forward. And going forward, his figures were nice and smooth and worked better. That's all that I'm saying. You can't take a Diamond Select, who, again, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe is defunct now, which means they weren't charging enough. They have less people that have to pay. Now, you can say whatever you want about that. Hasbro has a board to pay and shipping to pay and all the little kids working in the factories. They all do, because they all use the same fucking factory. But yeah, that's totally, that's totally it. I meant totally it, but this is my opinion, and I don't know because I don't work with plastic. Model Misfit says flexible resins are way more expensive as far as resins. And again, resin is obviously different than plastics. It is done differently, but that is something that you can compare it to. When you look at 3D printing, right? Like that softer stuff, and I've never really talked to you about it, Loki, but I've talked to Greg about it, who's done the stuff. And he said, like, this shit is more expensive. So why is it different? Again, if it doesn't look good, it doesn't matter what the quality is. If it breaks, it doesn't matter how great it looks, right? So I don't care that some of the stuff is soft. The G.I. Joe weapons, well, they're just like what they were. They're not like that anymore. They were too soft. They were way too soft. And sadly, Marvel Legends is the same way. So, anyway. Whew. That was a huge open hour and a half. We haven't even got to any news. Again, not a lot of news. So we're going to bust through the news pretty quickly. And then we're going to get to the topic. And that topic is about man-childs, rage quitting, really mad about an exclusive they said they didn't even watch. But you know what I need? I need a fucking break. But there's 135 people watching right now. So please hit that like button and also enjoy a little Moss Man.
Oh, hey guys. So Lawrence, he had to step away for a little bit. He's got a case of the grumble dust. So he asked me to kind of watch over a stream. He put me in charge of y'all. He said to me, "Oh, Moss Man, I have a case of the grumble dust, and I need you to watch myself for a little bit so nobody leaves and finds out that there's more interesting things to watch on YouTube. And also, I hate Ohio." So I was like, oh, dang, so now I have to come up with a topic for my very own show. And I was like, oh, what about talking about your favorite toy stores? So my favorite toy store is HelloDopeToys.com. So they used to have this really bad website. It used to look real scammy. Like if I gave them money, they were going to go spend it on like blow and hookers. But now their website is really nice. And like I can just go in and do like 1-2 click. And then my order's placed. And they ship super fast, guys. They ship everything in 1 business day. So like I get all my toys first. So when I'm out there on the playground and all my friends are like, oh, dang, Moss Man, where'd you get that action figure? I still have to wait 17 months for mine. And I'm just like, well, I went to HelloDopeToys.com and I just pushed the buttons and then they shipped it out to me. And the packaging is so nice, guys. Like, I opened up the box and I thought, oh, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve this kind of packaging. It's so nice. But then my trash can gets full because of all the packing stuff. And I was just like, oh dang, I just changed the trash. But now I gotta change the trash again. Oh, you're right, Matthew Matson. You can use the code APWT at HelloDopeToys.com and save 10% on your order. So how that works is, so you're going to save 10%, and then a Punk with Toys, he has to pay that 10% that y'all save. So if you don't like Lawrence, you can just go to HelloDopeToys.com and just buy a bunch of stuff and rack up his bill. So then, like, at the end of the month, they're like, Hello Dope Toys is like, oh, Lawrence, you owe us $1 million because of all the 10% codes that everybody used. And yeah, that's how that works. Okay, guys, so it looks like it's time for me to go now. So make sure you go to HelloDopeToys.com and like and subscribe, and then in the comments put what your favorite toy store is. But if it's not HelloDopeToys.com, I'm probably just going to delete it, okay? So, all right, guys, bye!
All right, a little bit of MotU, but I gotta mention, Moses, if you are on Instagram, please message me because I do not have a Mossman. And I don't care if it's in the box or not, but I do need a Mossman, and I was never able to find one on sale when they were like $40. So please message me if you're on Instagram, because yes, I am interested. And I want to go back to something quickly that Dirty Knife said. He said maybe they were thinking that since it's a bigger figure, more prone to falling, and the softer plastic could survive impact better. I think that's all relative, because technically this is for 4 and up. But again, like the thing that I don't get when it comes to the plastic is, like, if it still looks good and it performs the same way as harder plastic, I don't understand why people are mad, other than people on the internet tell them that they should be. But that's probably part of it, right? Like, I've had a couple different classified figures fall, and the peg and the backpack break off, which is extremely frustrating. All right, so little MotU, Snake Lair is now up, and it is for pre-order for $300. It is a crowdfund. It was at like $3,000 last I checked, but it is available for your Kickstarter right now, for your crowdfunding. And in all honesty, I know I showed this last week, and I really just showed, I put it up here for one thing, just to show, oh no, I'm in chains. It's Mossman. Oh no, it's Fango. I hope he doesn't bite me. Mossman. Oh no, they're gonna cut off my head in the guillotine. Oh, wait a minute, this ain't a guillotine. I'm just trapped here. Hi, it's me. Oh no, Snake Lair, teach him a lesson. He's the only one. All these figures, and is the only one. Oh no, snakes are climbing all over me. Oh, wait a minute. The snakes, they don't realize I'm the same color as them, so I'm good. I get out of this. And we have Woody saying, "Mission in chains laughs my ass off." Now I've seen it all. Mossman in chains, I guess. He meant Mossman. Tony says, I set up that diorama from Mattel because Tony's the only person that hates the Mossman skit. Mattel hates what oceans as much as Tony. Man, you guys have got to stop with the text to speak. Mattel hates Mossman as much as Tony. And then here, this one, oh no, they put me in chains and put the snakes around me. Oh no. Wait a minute, I guess I did put someone else in this. So I guess there is a second person that's being tortured. Stiff Kittens reviews. Take care, all. Thank you for joining. Hopefully you can catch the rest of it on the replay. Please hit that like button if you haven't yet. 95 likes yet, 100 30 people watching, and we're up to like 145. I wonder if I'll ever break the 200 mark. That would be awesome. That'd be awesome to like finally break the 200 mark. Just myself, and I, my little 5'4" stature. Just Plain Yogurt says Mattel added this Snake Steed to the base pledge, boosting the perceived value. It was originally a tier. Hasbro should be paying attention to that. The difference, I think, is that I don't believe Hasbro needs to. If you know what I mean. Like, I think one of the problems with this here, and I understand price-wise, but the original, and when I mean the original, I mean the Castle Grayskull was $80 with a figure, and this is $300 to get this. Now, there's a little more on this, but I think they may have kind of like overcommitted to how much it's going to be. But if this is the thing that you're talking that they added to the base, that thing's awesome. And I mean, Mossman has his own car thanks to Radnom. This could be Mossman's little own, like his own personal two-headed snake horse, or do we call it the Snores? Anyway, that's it for Mo. That's all for MotU. Honest to God, I just wanted to do a little bit more Mossman. Mossman has become, again, it's not my thing. If anyone's watching being like, oh my God, you came up with something, Mossman is not mine. That is Hella Dope Toys. Technically, it is Ted's. He does the voice. If you really want to see more, go look at Hella Dope Toys, The Adventures of Skeletor. There's 3 episodes. That's 4, but there's 3 episodes of with Mossman, and Mossman was clearly the breakout star. All right, he is the Jack Tripper of The Adventures of Skeletor. Rednam says Mossman, a Mossmobile is about to fall out of warranty. Yes, the Snores. No, I think someone else called it the Snores, because I remember reading it, but I don't believe that I said it. Moses Gian says that two-headed snake horse is cool, but I don't know if I really need that layer. I don't know why, but I feel like if the Snorse was up, the two-headed Snorse, I'd be like, I need to get that. It's kind of like if you watch my Motor City Comic-Con, when I came around the corner and I saw the little the keychain of Angry Wicket. If you know what I'm talking about, go back and watch my Motor City Comic-Con walkthrough, or not the walkthrough, but the toy haul that we got. There was something about that stupid little thing. I loved it. Anyway, that was it. That's all the MotU. Then we got some McFarlane, and it's more Batman. I was at Target, which I gotta say, man, that McFarlane section has shrunk to almost nothing. He used to have such a big section. It is almost nothing at Target. But here is Batman Returns. So here you have your Penguin, your Catwoman, Batman, and then the other guy. I don't know who the other guy is because I really don't like this movie. I don't know why I dislike this so much, but it's there. So here's all the figures. Ooh, this is a blurry ass picture. But you get Penguin with his little penguins, and then whoever the other guy is, what the hell's his name? But yeah, so when I was at Target a couple days ago, I laughed because there was one figure that wasn't Batman, and there was like 5 different Batman, and I'm like, man, Allison would just be dying. And then you can get the a penguin with giant duck. This might be something that we all need, right? A giant duck. Maybe this might be the other vehicle that we need. Is the giant duck. Gun Bunny Customs. Come on. You know you can do this in Python Patrol, right? Cooter's Garage jumping in here saying Mossman always gets me. I know Tony's the only one that hates Mossman. And then we have Matt O'Brien jumping in saying happy Monday, Lawrence and crew. Matt, I am so glad that you have been able to join a little more than what you have been in the past. So I love having you here. So anyway, that's all the McFarlane. I told you I don't have much news today. There's not much news. All right, so this is actually pretty cool. And MTC, if you are here, I will send you all the links to order these if you haven't ordered them already through Entertainment Earth. And this is Council. Wait, what is it called? I don't know, Council something. Here we go. I'm going to enlarge this. I don't have a graphic for the front because you know how that goes, right? What do we say to that?
I don't go through all the graphics before the show.
All right. Tiger Force, Duck, and Root. You can show this off on the Punkathon. So anyway, these little console things, right? They're like almost the size of a Genesis cartridge, and they open up and they're just a little play set. And they have a whole bunch of them. I think they're $18. Entertainment Earth I believe Entertainment Earth has them in stock. I know they're up on BBTS as a pre-order, but they have a whole bunch of different ones, and I think they're pretty cool. It's not something that I'm into, but if you see a game you might like, yeah, and they don't take up a lot of space, so there is that, and they close up. So here we have Sonic and Knuckles, and again, you can kind of see a little display in the back there. I have no idea anything about Sonic. There's a balloon. Why do they have a balloon? Do you have a balloon? I don't know that. And there's just over 3 inches high and 4 inches wide. So I didn't read enough. Are these the actual size of a cartridge? That's what I'm kind of wondering. The actual Genesis cartridge. I do remember Genesis. I remember playing that. But anyway, these are actually, again, they're cool. Just something a little different. And again, the perfect Sega Genesis. Now, this would be awesome if you could plug this into your Genesis and completely ruin a Genesis. Is probably worth a lot of money. The Superman 4679 say, hey everyone, hey Punk, Batman Returns, Max Shrek, actor is Christopher Walken. I knew it was Christopher Walken. Max Shrek. I saw someone say Shrek. I did not realize that they were being truthful, that his name is actually Shrek. Okay, Sonic is the blue one. Thank you, Edward. I'm sorry, Eduardo. Yes, I did know Sonic was the blue one. I have seen the movie. Most of my knowledge of Sonic, I'll be 100% honest, comes from the movies, which are excellent. All right, they are a lot of fun. And there's a size, again, like if this was my hand, you'd be like, oh, these things are really big because I have tiny girl hands. But this is probably a man's hand. So I just put this in there so you can see the actual size of how big it is. And then, again, it looks like it probably is the actual size of a cartridge. And I don't see MTC here. I was really hoping that he was going to be in this, because if you watched my Thursday with a Friend with MTC, who was not MTC back then, what the hell did he go by back then? He has a huge video game collection. They do, but I think their tater tots are overrated. That was the big hoopla, was their tater tots, and I don't think they're any better than the Aldi's ones that I get. But they do good. They do have good hamburgers. I'll give you that. All right. So here's the box of it. Just kind of showing you everything. Sonic 3. There's a Sonic 3, right? I wouldn't have known that. I barely know who Knuckles is, although I actually have a Funko Pop of Knuckles because he's flocked, I think. I thought maybe he'd be worth money, so I just bought him. All right. Here's Sonic, and Who's this guy? He was in the last Sonic movie too. So I don't know. I know the rings. I know you race down and you hit the rings. I don't know who the little fox guy is, but here he is. So if you need this and you're like, I love this, there you go. Tripwire says, if you like Sonic burgers, puke, you got to try Beepops. I've never even heard of Beepops. So I would say we do not have those here in Michigan. Tails. Okay. Tails. Whose heads? Viper Scout says, is it weird that both Sonics are known for chili dogs? Are they? Not here in Michigan, because Michigan is really known for their chili dogs. I don't think they are. Anyway, here's a diorama of Sonic and Tails. Again, I didn't know any of this. So you guys are here for them. So this is Sonic 2. I don't think they did Sonic 1 on this. And there's the bad guy. I know the bad guy from the movie. I don't know what his name is, though. All right. And you guys, I know, come on. You can't tell me a bunch of you are not going to buy Super Street Fighter, right? I mean, it's for Genesis. We got the Hadouken, Ken and Ryu right there fighting with the boat in the background. I'd go hang out on the boat. I'm just saying. Why would I want to fight someone that looks just like me? Well, he doesn't look like me. He's dressed just like me. He has the same fighting style as me. But yeah, I think this is the one I think you're definitely going to have. Eggman. Yes, there it is. Robotnik Eggman. See, I don't know this stuff. Steve Martin says, but Whataburger smoke. We do have a Whataburger, but I think it's in downtown Detroit. I think. Or no, maybe I'm thinking of Wallenburger. We don't have any Whataburgers, but I know the franchise. I don't think we have any. And now we're talking about hamburgers. So here you go, exact same size. And I know this is going to be the hottest one. It has to be, because everyone loves Street Fighter right now. So there's your Super Street Fighter 2 for your Genesis, Capcom. And then we have Altered Beast. I loved Altered Beast. This is the game when I went to the arcade, we went and found Altered Beast. And I remember playing this. I had a lot of fun with this. This was when I went over to a friend's house that had a Sega Genesis. I wanted to play Altered Beast. And if I remember correctly, I believe Altered Beast came with the Sega Genesis originally. Correct me if I'm wrong, which you guys will do. But I believe Altered Beast was what came with the original Genesis. Same time, Toys is jumping in here saying, what's good, guys? Just woke up. Well, you made it to at least make a comment to begin, right? But yeah, I like this. I wish they'd make good figures. I know they recently did some Altered Beast figures, but I want some nice ones. Because like I have space for more shit. But I want some good Altered Beast. But here you are. This was such a fun game.
Whatever you do, don't let Roman outside.
Yeah, skunk.
Yeah, skunk.
I can smell it.
Right there.
Okay. You guys hear that? Skunk outside. Roman's not going out.
Camping the front door.
What?
Camping on the front door.
Like how close?
I don't know.
Okay.
I went into the bathroom and
I can smell it back here, so it's sprayed. Probably spray the neighbor's dog.
I think so, because I can smell it straight through the wall.
As long as it doesn't. I don't need. If anyone remembers, I had to literally just end a stream because Roman got sprayed by a skunk last year. And it was before we were doing Circle of Jerks, and Baldy, I remember Baldy made a comment. He's like, yeah, Punk just does whatever he wants. Like, he just like ended a stream because his dog got, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Dog got sprayed by a skunk. I gotta go take care of it, right? Anyway, Altered Beast, there you go. And then we have the Genesis console, which is pretty cool. Now, someone said their Genesis came with Sonic, but I don't think the Genesis started off with Sonic. I think that was later on. Sonic was made to be the counter to Super Mario Brothers. But I don't think it started off that. I don't think Sonic started off. I could be wrong. Again, I was not a Sega guy. I was always a Nintendo guy. So, again, feel free to let me know. Bill K says, I don't think I ever played Altered Beast. Dude. I don't know how good the game is now, but back in the day it was awesome. Okay, Mark Richards says, yep, I bought the original Genesis with my hard-earned paper route. Mine came with Altered Beast, $200 well spent. Yeah, because Sonic came out well after. Did it not? I think it came out well after the Genesis came out because they needed something as their flagship. And unlike TurboGrafx 16, who came out with Bonk. Anyone remember Bonk's Adventure? Which I think was actually pretty good, to be honest. But Cressio Crow says, I kind of want the old Sega hockey players in the next wave of these. Wow, that's shocking. A Canadian wants hockey players. Anyway, so here this is, and you can kind of see there's a bunch of little stands. It comes with a place to put your cartridges, which is fucking awesome. Like, this is just cool. Store your collection. And look at this. Chaz the Guru jumping in and saying he meant I loved Altered Beast. And Shinobi was the other big one. Matthew, close your ears. Shinobi was a ninja game, but ninjas don't exist. So Matthew probably hated it. All right. So here's the box for it. This is what it comes with. And you can place all your figures on it. And there's like little pegs for the stands and everything. So, if you're interested in this, if you were a kid, I know there was a huge Nintendo or Sega. And there's some people that had both. Ninja Gaiden was better. I didn't play either one that much, but I do remember both of them. I like Kung Fu the best. So, and then you get the Stranger Things box, which is on a VHS cassette, which once again, it's like, obviously this is not on VHS, but it's supposed to be in the 80s. So I think it works perfectly fine. And this is one is clearly a little bit bigger, as a VHS tape. But again, if this is something you're into, then awesome. I mean, I love the little nostalgia, the little nostalgic stuff like that. I think it really works for people. And again, at $18 for what we spend on shit, man, it's pretty awesome. And then let's see here. Did I see Toy Matrix jumping in and saying, yo, Punk, yo, chat. Great to have you here, Toy Matrix. All right. Just Plain Yoga says Genesis hit the US in 89. Sonic the Hedgehog appeared in June of 91. Did you Google that, or did you know that offhand? Because if you know that offhand, you are a savant when it comes to shit like that. All right. So I told you there was some stuff that not a lot of news. So I threw that in there because I thought it's actually pretty cool. I think some people might like it. This is something I don't talk about. And I think most of you know my feeling. I don't talk wrestling. But it looks like they're coming out with the LJN. And the only reason why I would show the LJN figures is because I've talked about them numerous times about how these were rubberized weapons. Right? They were good enough to play with your friends. There's no hard edges or anything. But if you whip this at your brother or sister or your friend, you were going to break a nose. Right? If somebody stepped on it, they were going to twist an ankle. So I saw these come up, and 100% honest, you can probably figure out the one that I put on there and the reason why. So we have John Cena. I'm surprised I can even see this one. And then Logan Paul. Again, I don't watch wrestling anymore. I know that he's on there. And if I understand, he actually tries. He actually puts the work in. And I know he's a big guy. But yeah. Toy Matrix says, oh, hell yeah, they used to. Oh, yes, they did. And you didn't know where they were going to bounce because obviously they weren't a rubber ball. They just landed wherever and they fucking went, wherever. And you better not have like bounced them or chucked them on the ground in your grandmother's like china room, because precious moments and all that shit would have definitely gone down. And then we have Dusty. I was never a big American Dream fan, but again, I didn't watch him in the AWA. I seen him as the polka dotted dude with Sapphire that my dad used to make fun of all the time. But you can get that one. I still hate seeing WWE. It is WWF. You own the rights. You should still own the rights to use it in the US, so you should. I hate the WWE because not WWE superstars. But then you have the Immortal Hulk Hogan, which, let's be honest, I think calling him the Immortal Hulk Hogan, you can't do it anymore. He's not immortal anymore. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what a piece of shit this guy ended up being. He is the greatest wrestler of all time. He is the most important wrestler of all time. Yes, I will agree that without Vince McMahon, there is no Hulk Hogan. But without Hulk Hogan, the WWF, eventually WWE, is not what it is. And this figure, again, is a weapon. Now, I don't remember the box, if there was a box, but what the hell is wrong with Hulk Hogan's face here, right? This is just wrong. But I guess this also gives me a chance to take a quick breather and do this.
Let me tell you something, Mean Gene. So I'm sitting at home Monday night and I get this DM from some guy named Tony, Legend Series. And he says, what you doing, Hawkster? I said, I'm watching Monday Night Raw. What are you doing? He's like, you got to turn on this thing called Monday Night Toy Ramblings on YouTube with this punk with toys. He's talking about you. So I want to turn on over and hear what this fool is talking about. And I turn it on and all I hear him say is that he was at WrestleMania 3 with 93,173 of his best friends. And he was there when he watched me pick up that big, mean, ugly giant. And when I slammed him to the ground, he said he felt the Silverdome shake all of Pontiac, Michigan. It shook. And then that's when I realized that this guy, him and all his punkamaniacs that are running wild every Monday night, that it is the best thing going in Michigan that's ever happened. Maybe the best thing ever on Monday night. So, if you're sitting here right now and you're not paying attention, a punk with toys, Monday night toy ramblings, this guy will talk about everything. And it doesn't matter what you do. You can buy your subs. You can hit him with fake copyright strikes. He's coming after you if you get on his bad side. So what you're gonna do when Hulkamania, when Punkamania, when they all run wild on you?
Damn, maybe I should have named. Maybe I should have asked if the 36-hour stream should have been what should have been called Punkamania. Now that I saw that, Toy Magic, I think you're right. I think they were on bubbles and card backs. Okay, so I want to go back to this comment right here. Steve Martin saying Ric Flair is better. Okay, so as a wrestler, yes, but he's not. Shawn Michaels is the greatest wrestler of all time, All right. He could do everything. Work a mic, take huge bumps, high flying, technical, be heel, be face. But again, no one is more important in professional wrestling. And when people do a Mount Rushmore, and I hate Mount Rushmores because I should talk about this one day. Mount Rushmore is stupid because you have to look at Mount Rushmore and go, okay, there's 4 faces up there. At that time, how many presidents had there been? There was a much smaller pool. So when people try and do the Mount Rushmore of skateboarding, basketball, wrestling, it's stupid because the pool is too big. But anyway, anytime someone does a Mount Rushmore and they don't put Hulk Hogan on it, well, you're just lying. Yeah. As much as people hate Hulk Hogan, I don't think there's anyone that would say the Warrior is better. Not anyone that ever worked with the guy, because that guy was hated. Alex S jumping in here saying, Buenos Nachos, everyone, hope you are doing well. I am. All right, a little bit of mask. And this is just for the 40th anniversary stuff. So they are different colored. So there's a 40th anniversary edition bundle. Tony, are you getting this? I know you bought the other bundle. This is only available at the loyal subjects. And now we already looked at one of them, so they didn't show this one. So we have Condor in black. Again, black and gold. I'm not sure where people are like, hey, I need black and gold. But here it is. You get everything. The flame effects. I don't think I've seen these flame effects in any of the promo pictures for Condor. That actually looks pretty cool. But you get the different helmets and all that other stuff. We have the Matt Tracker, and again, it's in black. Not that a Camaro's ever looked bad in black. I really can't get over the stupid gun in the front. I mean, I understand why it's there. I just feel like they could have done a better job for what they decided to charge for it. Like, you should have designed it. And again, I think they did a really nice job with these designs, but they're kind of pricey. This just looks stupid. But it's in black. And then we have this one in black. I don't know why they did black and gold with this one too. Like, he's a bad guy, so I don't know why you didn't do a different color. It simply it wouldn't make more sense. I call this Night Force. And you know what? Technically they could, because they are owned by Hasbro. So but here's all the stuff with Miles Mayhem. I don't know how I pulled that out anywhere. I think that's his name though. But there you go. And that's it. And then I have one other thing, and that's Mezco. And I have a lot of bitching to do about Mezco. So we'll talk about Mezco, then I'm going to bitch about Mezco, and then we're going to get into the angry folks that hate Hasbro Pulse. But Mezco right here, they dropped a Superman from the latest movie, and I gotta say, it looks pretty damn good. I think this looks good. And I'm actually kind of surprised at how fast Mezco was able to get a figure together. Now, obviously, this movie's been in the works for quite some time. But, after seeing the movie, again, I'm happy with the movie. I've said before that, DC has to show me. Marvel's already done it, and I know not everyone loves Marvel movies, but they've shown they can do good movies. DC has been mostly bad. So, Allison is talking about the mask. The gun in the front ensures that your Camaro's brakes fail. You can at least blow up whatever you're about to drive into, so you don't damage your front end. I think that should probably be on the Ford Mustang then. And Moses says, I don't know if I'm going to jump in. I was excited before the prices. And Moses, I think that a lot of people feel like you. And again, if you're tuning in right now, we're talking about the mask stuff. I think a lot of people feel like you, and I've been saying for quite some time, these people that wanted, mask and 1/12 scale vehicles. I don't think mask is nearly as big as people think that it is. The toy collectors, they remember it, but mask was never that popular. It wasn't G.I. Joe, MotU, Transformers, Star Wars, TMNT. Like, it was never any of that. But yeah. So, but here you go. And you're going to get a little crypto. Model Misfit saying, I hate this look for Superman. Well, you can hate the look, but it is what it is what we got in the movie. So I had no problem at all. I was really impressed with him as Superman and really impressed with him as Clark Kent. I was happy with the movie. I can't say I have no complaints. There are some things that I didn't think were great, but for the most part, I thought it was good. So anyway, here is this Mezco Superman. If you want it, if you need it. I mean, it's not the Superman that I would get, but I would say that this means you're probably going to start getting some of the other characters. And I say probably because I don't really know. I don't know what's going on with G.I. Joe license. Like, are you doing more G.I. Joes or what? So there's Crypto, which I gotta say, the Crypto in the movie, they take this dog that, like, it's not a pit bull, it's not a Rottweiler. I know I mentioned this somewhere else, and they just like he's this cute little dog, and like you wouldn't think that is that, that he's that tough. And he's this super strong Crypto dog. So I think it's actually pretty cool. So, but there you go. If you need a Mezco Superman about the movie, here you go. I think the snow shot is awesome. This is a real interesting part of the movie. If you haven't seen it, all right. And they're there looking at Earth. All right. So he comes with laser eyes. Four different head sculpts, lots of hands, Crypto, their customary stand, and I guess that's it. I don't know if it had the price because, well, you know how it goes.
I don't go through all the graphics before the show.
I don't know if it had a price because there's something kind of just it came up and I just threw it up there really quickly. So, but anyway, there you go. That's the news. No G.I. Joe, but man, there's a lot of G.I. Joe. I think we talked a lot about G.I. Joe already, but there's going to be more that we're going to talk about. So 113 people watching. So please hit the like button if you haven't. I appreciate it. And before I take another quick break, Ed says $115. That's why I have mods. They can help me out with the work, and it definitely helps. Corey Fledge, Naked Gun is already in theaters. It came out this weekend. I almost took myself to go see it because I do want to see it. But quickly, let's throw this up. Where is it at?
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money.
Pop Blender with the $5 super chat saying, "Grr, I'm angry again. Angry that more of you haven't gone to see the Naked Gun in theater. It's hilarious. Go see it. Make comedies great again." I almost took myself to go see it because I do want to see it. The fact that in the one promo that I saw, when they get to OJ's son, and they have no problem taking shots at him, which I'm perfectly fine with. So, But anyway, I'm going to take a quick break. But this guy here that just sent a super chat, he and my mod also do a show tomorrow night.
Idiots! Incompetent buffoons! What is it now, Commander? Consummate morons, incapable of coherent thought! Are you watching that show again? Yes. Why didn't you just watch Pop Blender and Matthew's discussions, news, reviews before the show came out? Whether you agree or disagree, the perspectives provide enough context to know if the show or movie is worth your time or not. Yes, I know. I will not miss another Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central on Pop Blender's channel. Be more than once a man by watching Pop Blender and Matthew talk about pop culture news, discussions, and reviews on Tuesday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. And now you know. Televiper, be sure to hit like, share, and subscribe so we do not miss another episode, and hit that bell notification.
All right, so quickly, the Naked Gun stuff came up. And my bitch about Mezco. All right. You're never going to hear me bitch about not being first or someone getting something early before me. And that's not what this is. But I ordered the Rumbler. $325. They said it's going to start shipping right after San Diego Comic-Con. Awesome. That Friday of San Diego Comic-Con, a shipper was created. Awesome. And that means they paid for the shipping. It should be slapped on the box. FedEx just needs to come pick it up. Now, we have also seen last year when it came to the Dragonflies, these shippers were created and they were rolling them out. Now, this year, they're not doing that, but Mezco created it. And I knew Bobby B had ordered it, and I was talking to him, actually he messaged me and he goes, "You get the Rumbler?" I said, "I ordered it and it's just sitting there." And he's like, "Yeah, mine's supposed to be here, but supposedly it was delivered, but no one was here, and you have to sign for it." And I'm like, "Mine hasn't even moved." And again, I don't care if Bobby got it first. I don't care whoever gets it first. What pisses me off is that you created a label on Friday, 2 Fridays ago, and people are starting to get it, which means it's shipping out. Now, I don't understand. You fucking created a goddamn label for it. Why is it when the FedEx guy comes, are you not like, "Here you guys go"? And again, I don't know who else. I'm sure there's other people that have ordered it that are sitting there. Now, the other gripe is that their customer service sucks. Many of you may remember back in October, and I only know the date because my one of my jerks partners, Spec, he got 2 left feet on his figure, and he contacted them, and he said, "Yeah, they got right back to me and said they're real busy. Give it 4 to 6 weeks, or 6 to 8 weeks, I think it was like that. I forget what it was." And I said, "I hope you have better luck than me," and I took a screenshot of what they sent me, and he's like, "Motherfucker, that's exactly what they said to me." And they never sent out a new rifle, and they've never sent out the rifle or the backpack for the Duke that was broken. And when I contacted them again, they kind of gave me attitude like, "Well, we're real busy, but if you want, you can pack the figure up and we'll give you a refund." I'm like, "No, I want the fucking figure. And you guys said you would replace it." And now it's like, God forbid I fucking say something to you. So I did send them a message, which they haven't responded to. Shocker right there. But the fact of the matter is, we have to get the FedEx app, the manager app, so we can redirect it if we're not going to be home, right? So I have to have this redirected to a FedEx facility, which I don't mind. All right, it's a big product. Same with any of the Mezco figures. Anything Mezco you have to sign for. I know some people say I didn't have to sign for mine. That means FedEx isn't doing their job. All right. So the fact is, you created this now 10 days ago. Why hasn't it shipped? It'd be one thing if, like, hey, you know what? They're rolling these out. Maybe they don't have them all in yet. Maybe they're, working off, a limited amount of people, and they have all. I understand that, but you've created something. So why have you not just shipped it out? It's annoying as fuck, and they're impossible to talk to. So again, I messaged them today, or actually messaged them yesterday, last night. I wasn't expecting a message back on Sunday, but I'll do it tonight. So I just kind of got aggravated, and I don't like being that person. I'm not one of those people like, where's mine? Everyone, I don't care. But the fact that you created this, so I know you created it. Why hasn't it just been given to FedEx? That's my gripe about Mezco. Matthew says, I freaking hate Mezco as a company, even if they make good stuff from time to time. I'm with you. They're fucking awful. They're fucking awful when it comes to that. Matthew says, I prefer to redirect my FedEx and UPS shipments to a pickup location. That way my wife doesn't see it come to the house. It's hard to plan shipments arrival when she's not here. No, again, I don't have a problem having the app because I also need it for the Haslabs, right? Technically, you can do it for anything. But my point is, I have to go through all this, and when it finally does ship, here, let me go look right now quickly. I'll go up to my FedEx app here. Got to restart it. The FedEx app sucks. I'll just say that. But it is very, again, it's good to have. You should sign up for it no matter what. All right, sign up for it no matter what, so you can redirect things. So once again, delivery details will be updated soon. And it tells me that, on July 25th at 2:53, the label was created. It is now August 4th. So that is my bitch about fucking Mezco and how they do shit. Ed says, any Mezco I can buy from BBTS, I do. You know what? And that's kind of how I feel now. This, obviously, I couldn't. But, yeah, this is just... No. This isn't me going... This isn't me throwing a fit about it. It's not like me throwing a fit like, hey, where's mine? You haven't... Bobby B... No, you created something. Why hasn't it shipped out? Like, you've gone through the effort of creating everything. You paid for the shipping. It means you have a box there. You don't have to do anything more than put it on and say, take it. No, actually, it's actually nothing like Hasbro. It's nothing like Hasbro. Hasbro will charge you because they got the product in, and then they have to create a label. And they may say that it went out, but you're not getting tracking. This is literally, hey, we have tracked it. It is going out. And again, this has happened before. Every Mezco that I've ordered, it's usually taken about 28 days after they create it. What's different this time is that people are actually receiving it. That's the difference. Like, a lot of times they'll create it and they sit there and I don't know why. This is a Mezco thing. Fucking awful. So anyway, that was my bitch about Mezco. Mezco, I hope you're watching. Because if you are, send my shit out. And why don't you fucking send me out that extra, the non-broken M4 and backpack for Duke like you were supposed to in October. Just know this. If you get fucked by Mezco, you're fucked. I'm just going to say that. If something breaks, you're fucked. That's why you order through BBTS. Because BBTS, they'll take care of you. You might have to send the figure back. But yeah. Yeah. Loki, I believe my Storm Shadow was created And like 28 days later, they fucking sent it out. It was crazy. Bobby B had the exact same thing, but they did that with everyone. This is different, you know. This is different because they're obviously sending them out. But again, it's just a big box sitting there taking up space in your, you know, in your warehouse. Now, MCR, it is water. I don't drink, so it wouldn't be vodka. It is just water. Matter of fact, I decided I was going to fast. So you might see me angry if I actually make it through my fast, because I'm planning on fasting through Circle of Jerks. So if you see me a little bit more pissed off than normal, it's probably because I'm getting hangry. Pop Leonard says, I get what you're saying. I guess I'm just equating it to the fact that it seems like a lot of these companies have shipping issues or charging issues or both for the same reasons. Well, Mezco has no problem charging because they just charge you. They charge you right away. All right. So let's get to the fucking man-childs. The rage fucking quitters. The guys that are so mad over fucking Cold Slither that it was sold out in 1 minute. Now, if I am correct, Pop, you do not have a say in this, because I thought you weren't buying it because you were boycotting it because it didn't come with a microphone, so you have no reason to be mad about it. You weren't buying it anyway. So, Hasbro says, we're giving you a week pre-order for Cold Slither. It went up. It was gone within 1 minute. I didn't get it, mine. Yes, Matthew. Yeah, right there. The Cold Slither they didn't even want. Exactly. Cold Slither they didn't even want. And believe me, we all heard it. We all heard it. We don't even care. I don't even want that. That's stupid. Perfect exclusive. You don't have to fucking worry about it. Anyway, so here we are. And it sells out in 1 minute. I didn't get mine. I had to get mine through somebody else. Now, I did not overpay for it. This is why you make friends in the community, so you guys can help each other out. He was able to get it, and he sent it over. Okay, Pop says, that's not true. I said that I know some people like War Chest. Oh, you're right. It was War Chest. Okay, I apologize to you. I just remember I remember talking about it, and I thought that Darren said that it was you, but I think you're right. Plastic Battle says, I got mine in that minute somehow. A lot of people did. Bobby B got his. Couple guys on the Circle of Jerks, they got theirs. But again, so I reached out to some people, and someone said, hey, yeah, I got it. Just costs and shipping. So I had to pay. Well, I guess I didn't have to pay for shipping because I sent him something to cover the shipping. So I paid the $135, taxes. So I was able to get it. And it wasn't that I thought that I wouldn't. It's not that I didn't think that it was going to go up again, but I figured I want to get it. I do my reviews. So I ordered it. And again, it didn't really cost me anything more. But I did think that it would last. I thought that pre-order would be open for a little bit longer, considering they said 7 days. So, obviously, they didn't have as many ready to go out because they went out right away. And what we had then was they said, hey, this is going up again. And it did. And they had the same type of site issues. Now, this is what I want to say. To all the fucking man-childs out there, the rage quitters, the ones that want to protest, cancel your Haslab. And but then back it again right before. Send Hasbro a message. I don't know what that fucking does. What does that do? You cancel it and then you fucking back it? Like it makes no fucking sense. Like I don't know what. Seriously, like some of you need to be in a fucking mental home. But it's like we've seen this happen. So then what happens? But I think 3 hours later, it goes up in stock. All right, it goes up in stock. And it's up for, I think, 30 to 60 minutes. It was up for a while. All right. It was up for a while because I know I ordered 2 for Sergeant Reds. All right. So it was up. I was able to order 2. And then it was out of stock. And then it went up for pre-order. And we're going to quickly do, I'm just going to do a quick look right here because I'm already here. If I go to brands and I go to G.I. Joe and I go to the classified section, I just want to check really quick. Pre-order. Let's see here. And if I click on it, oh, I can still pre-order it. So all this fucking wigging out by some of you people, and I don't know if there's anyone on here. If there's anyone on here, you know, that's you. But you guys act like we haven't seen this before. We saw Nemesis Immortal. What happened? It went up. It was gone. It went back up. Once a Man Cobra Commander. The exact same thing. You realize I got into the line after 00 Snake Eyes. I got 00 Snake Eyes when they did a restock of them. I got Zartan right away. But later on, they did more Zartans. They did more Serpentors. You fucking know this shit. So what the hell do people get mad about? Like, right, Plastic Battles. Over emotional crybabies. And again, it's called an exclusive for a reason. We don't get everything that we want. And it was kind of brought up by someone else. Like, you remember those things called flag points? Not everyone had flag points to get everything. So you had to order stuff. You know, so you had to order stuff. Sometimes you didn't get it. So Sean Forrester says, I didn't want Cold Slither, and I'm still passing on it. Not something I need. And you know what? A lot of people said that. But I equate it to the same people that said, I didn't hoard toilet paper. No one hoarded toilet paper, yet we couldn't fucking find it when the pandemic started. Am I wrong? I think I'm right. Because I remember no toilet paper. So Pop Leonard says, yeah, that's what is so whack. The up and down of the availability. Not everyone is able to keep track of it like that. People have shit to do. Okay. So this is my thing. If it's that important to you, then you find a way to make it work. If something is that important to you, then you find a way. You have a network of people. But once again, it's there. You can order it. So there was nothing they had to worry about. He says toilet paper pass. You know, but that's just it. Okay, so Cobra Commander says, I'm tired of Hasbro playing all these games, telling its customers to get Hasbro memberships, and I still couldn't get it in the first 5 seconds. I kept checking and never saw it back in stock. Okay. I'm not going to argue that was a clusterfuck, and they've had a clusterfuck numerous times. But Hasbro Pulse is not only for that. That is something that people seem to not think about. If you're a G.I. Joe collector, you think, well, it's not worth it. Well, it might not be worth it to you. But if you collect Star Wars and you collect Marvel Legends or Transformers, then you then it's worth it to you. Hell, the free shipping is worth it. The amount of exclusives that they give you, it's worth it, in my opinion, because of the shipping. Now, some people say, hey, you know what? I get it from Amazon. Okay, but you can't get everything from Amazon, unfortunately. Now, them saying that, hey, it's going to be up for 7 days, that's something they shouldn't do. That's something where they need to stop saying that, hey, this is going to be available for 7 days. And clearly they had more. They had more than what. Now, they put in a allotted amount. Now, I don't know why you'd even put that allotted amount. That's a whole other issue. But we've seen this act before. That's my biggest thing. Like, we've seen this act before, right? Like, we know this is going to happen. And if you just sit back, you know that it's going to be available. So I know the first inkling of people is to get on the internet and show everyone how mad you are, and then say we need to boycott this and we need to, have a fit. And it makes no fucking sense. Matthew Madsen says, I used my flag points from 1986 as toilet paper in 2020. And Ed says Hasbro Pulse is first and foremost not Hasbro Inc. They are a sub company of Hasbro, so it's not Hasbro issues. I really have to. I know a lot of people say that, but I have to look into that because they're tied so in with Hasbro. It has to have something to do with it. And Bruce says, yeah, if there were a Haslab that I really, really want, cough, cough, the ground to air Wolverine, cough, then I'll back the damn Haslab. No, that's fine. I'm not even talking about the Haslab. Again, I don't think you should back something or buy something that you don't want. Toy Matrix says, I only wanted the guitar and the drums, so it just seems silly to buy it just for the instruments, so I passed. Yet again, like, if you don't want it, I fully get it. Like, again, it's not for everyone. It wasn't supposed to be. Sean Forrester says, I agree, Punk. I wanted crystal ball, so I got it from Australia months ago when my order got canceled. You do what you got to do. That's exactly it. If something is that important to you, you find a way to make it work. No, it's different if you're paying overpriced for absolutely everything, right? If you are overpaying for everything because I don't know how you'd have to. I don't even know how. It's not even possible. But if you overpaid for everything, then I could understand. But this stuff is going to go back up. And when people get mad over like Crystal Ball, saying Crystal Ball, it's sold out on Pulse, this is bullshit. Well, guess what? They're not supposed to have it. It's not a Pulse exclusive. It's a Walmart exclusive. So Your Clown says Hasbro Pulse is a subsidiary third party of Hasbro. Got that information from the rep when there was a glitch on Pulse. Yeah, so I know I know they're not like exactly the same. I'm still I love to sit down with someone and actually find out how they work together. Because they do have so many things that are tied through them that go through it. But it is its own, again, it is its own entity. I know that. Because then people think like, oh, Hasbro just has like people think like Hasbro Pulse is like in the stock room of fucking Hasbro. But again, it's the mentality that like I'm gonna freak out about this, even though we have seen this time and time again in the 4-5 years of Hasbro Pulse. I forget how long it's been around, but we've seen it time and time again. Stuff goes off order, it sells out super quickly, and then it goes back up. And we see this happen. I don't understand why people can't just sit back. It's the same people that wigged out about Breaker and went and spent $50 on him because they didn't want to wait. Well, guess what? You can find Breaker. All right. We have seen people posting pictures of them at Target. So don't just buy shit right away, right? One of the biggest things that, and this is what I don't really get, is the people that they didn't get Cold Slither. They went on eBay and spent $250 on it. All right. And I'm talking about someone specific that I really like. And I even told him. Or someone that goes out and buys Breaker for $50 because they can't find it. They're not going to go up more than that. So just wait and see if you're able to get it. We live in such a society of let's have it right now, right now, right now, right now. Now, again, you're going to say you do reviews. You constantly give stuff early. You're right. I take that chance. I accept that because I'm doing reviews and I know that it helps. But if you're not doing reviews, I'll say it again. Why are you in such a hurry to get stuff? Breaker went up. He's $25. He's a $25 figure. Why would you pay $50 on it rather than just wait and see? Because he's not going to go up past $50. And there's people that have multiple ones. That's why you make a connection. Tony's Fix says, yes, it's not for everyone. It was one silly episode from the cartoon. Happy for people that want it and hope they get it. I don't need it in my collection. Don't hate me. Tony, we hate you for other reasons. So let's see. Just Plain Yoga says it seems like they can print more Cold Slithers so the heck are the Cobra porta potties. It's not on the site. Don't cancel that thing because that is a fucking great question. I mean, I have one, but I don't have the box. I got it through Joe Fest because of Daredevil Dave. Yeah. So Corey Flood says Breaker has been stinking up the toy aisle at my Target for the last 2 weeks. I've only seen him that day, but I've seen pictures. And that's that's my biggest thing. Like, why do you guys, and again, I'm not saying you, but why jump the gun? Just wait a second. It's not going to go up much more than that. And more than likely, it's going to come down in price. But we live in such a right now society. And I see this even with my copy machines. I say, hey, you know what? This seems a little loud to you. I can turn it on silent mode rather than get an instant first copy. If the machine hasn't been run in like 20 minutes, you're going to have a warm-up time of about 6 seconds. Oh, that's too long. All right, I don't know what to say then. Okay, I didn't say who, I said I got it from Dave. All right. I got it from Dave. You may have found it, but I got it from Dave. The mold will run for the Joe version. But just where is it? And I thought Dial Tone was starting to ship for people. Am I wrong? I thought I heard people recently say they started getting their Dial Tone. I don't know. I've had Dial Tone so long that I forgot. I forget that people don't have them. It was kind of like when Heavy Duty came out, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's right." He's been sitting over here for. He's not over here now, but they've been sitting over here for like months. I forgot that not everyone had them. Toy Matrix says, off topic. There are new MotU Masterverse figures hitting Ross. Figures that just came out, like Fisto and Vintage Collection Skeletor Punk. Can you explain this this anomaly? I live in California. I can't. Do you remember when Ollie's got all the Crimson Guard, Dusty, and Zoranas? I mean, I saw some of them at Target, but they never lasted. So I don't know how they ended up over over at Ollie's. So I can't explain that. And what was explained to me was there's a good chance that a lot of these things kind of sat in the back and they didn't put them out, and they thought that they were overstock and they just shipped them out because the date. That's the only thing that I could think of. But yeah, if you remember those Crimson Guard, and again, I saw the Zorana and I saw Dusty. I think it was Dusty, right? I never saw a Crimson Guard at Ollie because I would have bought those for $5. Chaz says, I got 4 portal potties coming my way, getting ready to put them up on my eBay store. I think I have 2 coming. No one can yet, but they're showing up at Walmart. So start checking your Walmarts because they're starting to show up. I mean, you can order a crystal ball overseas. Here's what you have to. Okay, so here's the whole thing about crystal ball. Understand this: he wasn't meant to come out yet. If you go look at the date, the original date that Hasbro Pulse put him up, that was the same date that's around the same date that Walmart was supposed to put them up. Walmart fucked up the date. And the only reason why I say that is because the date was so different. If you look at the dates of the divers and Breaker through Hasbro Pulse and everything, they're always around the same time. Well, it was supposed to be the same time. They fucked up the date. They hit it way too early, and that was a mess up on their part. So the only people that are getting crystal ball, they're just starting to show up at Walmart. They have a big Hasbro display that people are starting to take pictures of with who has the Full Force has it up. So he's going to start showing up. Transporter 8 says, I just ordered thanks to you, just like I found Breaker. Thanks to you. I don't let the stress get to me. It's a hobby like you. Exactly. Exactly. Now, again, if you've ordered something and they're not shipping it, yeah, then you can get a little pissed off and be like, hey, I paid my money. Where is this? But, I mean, these things are going to show up. And I'll say it again, like, rather than overspend on it right away, wait a minute, because more than likely, it's never going to go up past that price. But there's a good chance that more are going to show up. We as a community have been so conditioned that when it hits, that's it. You're never going to get it again. Now, if you're talking about Mezco, yeah, that's it. But Mezco's a small company, right? But we've all seen how the Hasbro thing works. Like, hey, they've ordered so many. This is what they're getting initially. There's going to be more of a restock. Random Diorama says, off topic would be a good name for this show. Hey, I stay on topic a lot. Raw Talk Radio says, O-rings for life. My world building is easy and space is plenty. I once was all in with classified, but with all the yo-yoing Hasbro has been doing, I get tired of it. I'll stay vintage. And hey, that is, you are more than welcome to. But you're also not going to get nearly as many new figures. You're not going to get nearly as many new characters and new figures. And before you say there's other companies doing O-rings, I can also tell you there are other companies doing 6-inch figures that I can pull from. But hey, I still collect O-ring figures. I collect 1/18 scale. So I'm not one to poo-poo that. Although some people try and say I don't collect them. Although that big giant room downstairs tells me different. Look at this. Baldy Fox review saying, just got bailed out of county. Yo neighbors. Try and stay out of jail. And Raw Talk, Raw Deal says Classifieds has awesome designs, but poor marketing and shitty logistics. They treat grown collectors like children, and it's working. I don't think they treat grown men like collector. I don't feel they treat the grown men that are collectors like children. I think the grown men that are collectors act like children. And the reason why I say that is it happens with other stuff than just Classified or other Hasbro. And that's why I say that's not so much a Hasbro issue as much as it is it's a collector issue. I mean, do we need to bring up Hot Wheel collectors? Right? Like, we all know the stories of them sitting down there pulling down every single car so they can go through it looking for their treasure hunt. And Shark Eyes Toy Review saying, why do I feel so angry? You're always angry. I don't know. You're always angry, Adam. I'm just kind of reading through here. Liquid Identity saying, oh shoot, it's Monday. I'm late. Was playing with my crystal ball. Got an extra for Trey. Yes, plastic battles. Grown collectors act like children. And that's just it. Like, you know, I don't think it's Hasbro that treats people like children. You know, it's the collectors that act like children. Like, they, as a kid, you go to Kmart and you want Storm Shadow, but they don't have Storm Shadow. They have every other fucking figure. Well, why? Why, Mom? Why? Why don't they have Storm Shadow there? Why? I want that one. Well, Hasbro deemed, you know, hey, we need to make money and we can't just make a whole bunch of Storm Shadows. It's the same thing. Well, there's no reason. They're a multi-billion-dollar company. There is no reason why they shouldn't have these all out there, because I want to wait for it to go to clearance at that, because I don't want to pay that. But they're a company, and companies, it's crazy talk. Companies, they like to make money. I know it's crazy. Okay, it's a dark little secret, but companies, especially corporations, they enjoy making money. Like, that's their business. Like, literally, that's why they're a business. Okay, I work for a copier company. The owner, he likes to make money to sell more copiers. This guy, war chest full of toys. He owns companies. He probably likes to make a profit. But you know, that's, we as collectors, and I'm gonna use we and put myself in there. We just expect them to make everything that it's available, even if we don't want it. And then we just hope that it goes on sale. Hey, we don't care if they lose money, right? Like, I don't really care if Hasbro loses money. But if Hasbro keeps losing money, then they go out of business or they downsize. If Mattel keeps losing money, they go out of business. If the smaller companies go out, again, this is how companies work, all right? Do I wish Classified would cost less? Fuck yeah, I do. But I also understand logistics and everything. And I also don't know how much everything costs. But we're the ones that act like children. I don't think Hasbro, Mattel, anyone else is treating us like children. And the reason why Hasbro is the one that gets brought up is because, for the most part, and again, I'm well aware, this has become more Classified centric in my channel. Although I collect a lot of other shit. But yeah, it is one of those things. We're the ones that act like children. And Hasbro just goes, okay, I don't know what to do. Like, I will agree, like, them saying, hey, there's going to be a 7-day window. I thought they were going to have more. All right. Full disclosure, I thought they were going to have more. I mean, it seemed to make sense. Because what was the use of coming up with, 1,000 of them? And I'm throwing that number out there very, very loosely. Let's say they had 1,000 to go out. And that initial run. And then the rest were going to be whatever they had from San Diego Comic-Con. But they had a lot. And then they put pre-order, which means they have another shipment coming. But, the true question is going to be next year when it comes to Power Days, is this set going to be up there for, $75? Where they're trying to get rid of them because they can't. So, yeah, I don't agree with that, but we're the ones that act like children. And again, that is not me saying that Hasbro does everything right. Because I'm sure there are some groups of YouTubers that'll say, I watched Punk and he said fucking Hasbro is always right. They do nothing wrong. That's not what I'm saying. But hey, words, they can be twisted any way you want. That's what makes things great, okay? But anyway. War Chest Full of Toys says, Storm Shadow hanging out on his rooftop. Asian friends taking down people for being different than them. That's racist. But yeah. So I disagree with Hasbro treating us like children. I think we act like it. Pop Leonard says we are all guilty of it. We've all been pissed about the way pre-orders, shipping announcements, etc. have gone sometimes. I think it's part and parcel with collecting or trying to be first for views. Okay. So I think it's something I want to kind of break down in this. You are absolutely correct. We've all been really pissed off over the pre-orders at times. But this is where I'm saying that where the cycle needs to break. And what I mean by this is, Pop, is that we've seen how this plays out. Like, we've seen how Hasbro Pulse has done this. At first, again, Target, same thing. We've seen how Target acted at first, how it was such a clusterfuck. We all got aggravated. Then we see, oh, wait, more stock. We see how things are being done. We see what Hasbro Pulse does. This is like, you date that fucking psycho bitch. The sex is great, so you fucking keep going back. But you know what she does to you. You know she goes and cheats on you. But you keep going back. But you keep going back. Eventually, you go, you know what? You gotta say, I'm the fucking problem. She's not going to change. So either I have to accept that or not go back. We know what's going to happen with Hasbro. Like, we know it's going to go back up. We know the anger that people have, like, just settle down. Just wait a second. Don't act like a man-child. Don't get on Facebook and tell everyone to cancel their Haslabs. Cancel the Snowcat. Send them a message. People were like, I cancel my whole order. I canceled everything from Pulse. I don't believe you. I think most of you are full of shit. Do some of you? Yes. I'm sure some of you guys actually canceled your complete order and said you were done with it. There are also some people that moved to Canada when President Trump was elected. But the majority of you fuckers didn't, that said you were going to leave the country, right? Because you're all full of shit. Because that's what people do. They can sit behind their monitor and say they're going to do something and then don't ever do it. That's how it is. Same time Twitch says, I never even made an order to cancel. No, it's apology says can't stop, won't stop. And Pop says there are similarities for sure. It's like battered wife syndrome. They'll change. I know it, and that's just it. All right, and that's just it. Like, but you know what Hasbro Pulse is going to do. Now, don't get me wrong. We're all conditioned. We're all worried that shit. What if we don't get it? What if they don't put another stock up? Like, I understand it. And again, I'm no different. All right. I was 98% sure that Cold Slither would go back up. I made the conscious effort to reach out to somebody that I knew had a second one. Said, hey, how much do you want for it? Now, again, this is why you make friends with the community. He said, just give me cost and pay for shipping. And I said, hey, how about I have this that you want? Will this cover your shipping? I'll ship it out to you. Boom, it worked out. I didn't have to pay for shipping, right? And I did that because, well, what if this becomes that one, right? What if this becomes that one that they don't do? Now, clearly, that's not a fucking problem. Because September 17th, whole shitload is going to start shipping out. Toy Matrix says, on the collector side of things, as far as getting things early, I want to enjoy that hot new figure when everyone else does. Waiting and FOMO sucks, and sooner the better. I understand that. But first off, not everyone is getting it. It's only a select few, right? It's really only a select few that you see. And if you have the money, then go for it. I don't understand why everyone wants to get it early if they're paying an absorbent amount. If you're doing reviews and it's going to help your channel and you're looking at it where, hey, I'm going to make this money back or I'm going to offset the cost. Okay. And if you have the money, then cool. Like, go for it. I don't give a shit. It's not my fucking money. But if you've noticed, I've cut back. Like you don't really see me ordering stuff that early. And that's just a conscious effort that I've made. At the same time, I'm not, I'm no longer at a point where I'm trying to build that community to where people know who I am. I think now when it comes to G.I. Joe, people know who I am. They're going, and people have told me, we're going to watch what you do. Unless if it's Cold Slither or Wild Weasel, then we're not going to watch it. Those ones have not done very well. And that's fine. Like, hey, you know what? I make those decisions. But again, like if somebody else is, like Bobby B, clearly he gets stuff elsewhere. If Bobby wants to spend the fucking money, then good for him. Right? Like, good for him. He's going to spend a little bit of extra. It helps out his channel. He's happy. He has it in hand. Awesome. Like, who am I to criticize what he spends his money on? I spend my money on a lot of bullshit, Now, this guy here, like, this guy just has to be first all the time. So he'll pay extra. Of course, people leave comments on his stuff and don't realize that he doesn't live in the States because they didn't watch it. And here they have an accent. Shark Guy says, I say it all the time. This stuff is cyclical. Sure, Australia won the classified sweepstakes last week, leading up to the U.S. got the claw, snake armor, new retros, and Cold Slither. First off, not everyone got the snake armor. So take that fucking out of your mouth. But yeah. Tim H says, this is always a fun stream. Get your coffee, chat about our hobbies. I always enjoy this chat. Thank you very much, Tim. Seriously, as long as people are getting enjoyment out of this, and I don't have to yell and scream all the time, I don't know how you go 3 hours, but we're at the 3 hour mark. And I'm really actually going to leave this time. Baldy Fucks Review says, I spend my money on AI girlfriends. Totally worth it. This may be the biggest lie of the stream. It is always funny when you know people and you're in chats with them. Like again, I think most of us we have lots of different chats. So sometimes there's a lot of inside jokes going on. Matthew Matson said, I ordered 4 snake armors, canceled 2, but still haven't had any yet. I ordered 1 and didn't cancel it, but it got canceled because of Law and Order. So now I'm waiting, hopefully, that someone else gets extra, so I can actually get one. Yay for me. Pop says, from the robots I keep seeing on my YouTube shorts, I might just buy one of the AI robot girlfriends. Do they talk back? Do they cause strife in your life? And Bill K says, I got my All Striker early because I think it's cool. And the wife said, Hey, I've talked to Tony about this, and Tony said, hey, there's certain figures I really like, and I'll pay a little extra. Again, I have no problem. I don't understand. Again, people are gonna laugh because they're gonna you get all this stuff early. Yes, I have bought stuff early. And again, I make it perfectly clear it's because of the channel. But if you want to, it's your money. I don't care. There are some people that are so pissed off that somebody will get something early because it now affects how they do their review, that they don't get it early. I don't care. Someone gets something out early, good for you, man. It doesn't affect me. And if you want something early because it's I just really like that, awesome. As long as your bills, your kids, your family is taken care of, then awesome. Yeah, and I'm not saying you didn't, but again, I fully understand. And there's a lot of people that will pay a little bit of extra. And again, Tony wanted Airborne and he paid a little extra for Airborne, right? He didn't do a review on it. He's just one of my favorite figures. Awesome. So, I mean, I get that. So, but I'm really going to get out of here because it's been 3 hours and the water is starting to build up. I think I said everything that I needed to say. 105 people still watching. I think other than when I had to go live and debunk that I was sending out false copyright strikes, I think this has been the biggest show that I've done. We had, I think, 148 people watching at one time early on. So thank you very much. Matthew Matson is leaving a link to his and Pop Blender's show. Ed, if you're still here, are you doing your show on Tuesday or on Wednesday, or is there one? Please drop a link to it. Because again, I know you guys have been bouncing around, so drop a link so people can jump on over. Hit that remind button. Just remember, hey guys, when you see someone, someone that's going to do a live stream, make sure you hit the remind me, and they'll just send you the notification when they go live. And then you don't have to worry about remembering. I mean, I know you guys all know where to be at 9 p.m. on Mondays, so I'm glad and I'm happy for it. So anyway, you know what? You're full of it. You have a nice little thing going, you guys. You're Smoking Joe's, you guys got a nice little thing going. So it takes time, but you guys are growing pretty quickly. So be everyone that's doing your shows, doing lives, just be consistent, take your time, and let the people come, man. If they enjoy you, they will find you, and they will chat with you. So, all right, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you very much. Tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. The Circle of Jerks. That's what it is. And if you don't know who the Circle of Jerks are, I'll quickly show you who we are.
Fired? Have you recently lost your job with a major toy manufacturer? Tariffs got you down? You may be entitled to sharing your story on a major media streaming outlet. We want you to dish the dirt. Call Circle of Jerks at 900-555-0979. We will exploit you for our personal gain. That number again is 900-555-0979. Circle of Jerks. Every client gets a cookie.
Remember, everyone gets a cookie. So tune in tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. I will be there because I have no fucking life, and all I do is fucking YouTube and lives and shit like that. And there will be all but one there, I believe, until one of them just leaves. I don't know. I'm out of here. Thank you guys all. Have a wonderful night. See you guys 6:30 tomorrow, 9 p.m. Ed goes live. I think it's tomorrow. And then 10 p.m. Pop and Matthew. Take care.